If I start getting invaded by fucking gnats again tonight, like I did last night, I'm gonna fucking scream. Like, my fucking bug zapper for these goddamn gnats was going apeshit last night. Thankfully, it stopped after, like, 10, 11 o'clock at night. But for, like, a solid hour, it was, like, bap, 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 bap. And I don't know if it's because, like, I don't run the sinks enough, or I don't know. I've tried pouring bleach down my mouth. That didn't help.
Yeah,
you know what? I heard bleach only works for certain viruses.
I thought it was a decent joke. I don't know. It got no response. It was kind of sad.
No, Robert. You see, you're doing it wrong. It only cures you if you're autistic, and then you have to like do an enema.
Yeah, it only works on like children, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
All right, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna just reiterate, I'm fucking exhausted today, so depending on how unconscious I'm gonna be,
I'm
thank
right
you.
there with you, dude. You know what's been going on with me.
Yeah, but I just want to give a shout out to random Uber driver or DoorDash or other ride-sharing app. Or Instacart? I don't know. Shout out to that dude for waking me up like 2.5 hours before my alarm when I was already only planning on getting like 5.5 hours of sleep. So... don't worry, I hit the button. We're good to go now. I needed to...
Recording?
I needed to... Like, at some point, apparently I hit the button 2 minutes ago. Alright, everybody, let's do some jumping jacks. Come on!
No.
Woo. So, sometimes I just want to shake you, Robert. Just shake the hell out of you.
That'll be the most physical labor you've gotten all week, William.
Correct. Except for that time I threw Alex.
God, I just thought of another reason to be mad.
Stop it. Just stop thinking, Alex.
Oh, wait.
No. Start.
Why do you want to be mad, Alex?
Well, I mean... I think maybe I should not go into my whole huge issue, you know, right when we're about to start the game.
Valid. We'll do it after the game.
Yeah.
Or you can just PM it to me now.
And
then I can go into your whole huge issue.
Yeah, I mean... I'll save it for later.
Anyway.
Because...
After being sent into the Sabine Highlands on a apparently good information expedition by Captain Wallace, meeting with a new contact in Lawrence Beckett and heading out into the Highlands, things went from good to bad at record pace. Eventually, you found the old, abandoned, far ancient lake. Very little evidence of any humanity outside of one person that you saw apparently traveling around the lake. Otherwise, you began your hunt, hoping that somewhere here, with a little bit of divination, you'd be able to find your goal. Unfortunately, the umbral influence was strong. Garrett getting a much foggier mind, becoming a less trusting person. Strieg disappearing and all evidence pointing to him walking into the lake. An entity, an umbral entity known as the Great Shadow, seemingly watching you guys, only attacking ever once. Otherwise, you eventually, thankfully, found an abandoned town, and at its outskirts, far to the west, an abandoned, collapsed cave. Inside, hordes of Grylocs, strange, serpentine, lizard-esque, humanoid creatures of some sort of arcane origin that were intrinsically prone to violence at a moment's notice, but thankfully were intelligent enough to know that when shit hit the fan, if they weren't going to be able to handle it, they would rather not fuck with you. But your journey led you further into this cave to a decrepit old home built in the massive center of it at the terminus. Inside you found a old man who had abandoned the Beacon Knights, screamed about all of these umbral things, worshipped the Lithic ones, whatever that could be. But more than that, you started to look into it yourself. You found a great dying tree, at least the trunk of one. And when you tried to approach it, you were assaulted. You were forced to kill the man, forced to kill these entities protecting the tree, and eventually realized below, at a true terminus, was your goal. So below you went, climbing down into the hollowed out tree with your new shadowed blade, where you found this massive, overwhelmingly magical being who seemed to worship the book and who owned it. After first attempting to steal and then finally agreeing to a number of trades, the entity almost begged you to take the book. So you did. Escaping back to the surface, where Frey asked a question. So, with that, I ask unto all of you, as you hear the sounds of the book slamming shut, looking over at Frey, holding it in his hand, as you all were discussing what to even do at this point. I now have to ask, what do you even do at this point?
So Frey is, I imagine he's standing there, the book in his hands, just kind of looking a little shocked as he's kind of like, staring ahead at nobody in particular.
Are you okay?
It is the It's Captain Wallace. He's the one who started this. The curse came from him. And if we want to end it, then we need to. And he's, I think, looking towards Lawrence at this. Then we need to end him out in the place where the curse was born. The doldrums of the Epherian Ocean.
Lawrence has been staring at Frey ever since he opened the book. Maybe there was like initially like a no, don't, or something like that, like wait, but just after that, just staring. And I think upon hearing that, his brow would furrow behind the glasses. You just keep staring. There's no immediate response.
That doesn't seem like something he would agree to. Mira does not look particularly surprised, I suppose.
Yeah.
I
Same
mean,
with
I had always suspected that might be a possibility. But it is... I don't know why he would send us out to find this book to answer this question. But... it's true. That's what we need to do.
That is what the book said.
It is. The curse of Captain Soren can only be lifted by ending the life of the surviving originator of the ritual, Captain Asher Wallace.
What is his angle? I don't understand. He knew this is what we wanted to answer. He knew he started the curse, I assume. And I imagine he would know that that was going to be how to lift it. Why would he send us out here to get it?
Maybe he was trying to get rid of us?
I don't think so. He wants the book.
And he sent others out here as well with the same goal.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Also, honestly, it's a long way to send somebody to get rid of him. I assume he has the capacity to kill us in our sleep if he wants.
I get the sense that he would not care that we know this.
But why? I think it's important we answer because he can read minds. So if he will care, then we can't go in front of him.
And how? I mean, even if he knows, how the hell do you plan to get him all the way out there to kill him anyways? So what? He knows we know how to kill him. He's not going to let us drag him out to the middle of the ocean.
And certainly not if he gets the book, because then whether or not he knows now, he'll know everything he wants to know once he gets it.
Mm-hmm.
I think while the others are talking, Lawrence first puts his hand like on his face, like covers his mouth, and turns away. Takes a few steps away from the group, kind of meanderingly, not too fast. Mutters a bit to himself, real quiet.
Frey will watch him for a moment. How is Lawrence looking at the moment? Like, does he look in disbelief, betrayed? I could do a roll if you'd like.
Sure, if you want. I think generally it's just like first there was shock, thought, furrowed brow, clearly considering. Maybe there was a moment where wondering if Frey is lying,
Mm-hmm.
But
Disbelief.
yeah, maybe a little bit, but I don't think it's that at this point. Do you want to do a roll?
Yeah, sure. 7.
He said kind of turned away at this point, but I think you could probably notice that his there's a shudder to him, and that maybe for a moment you see him reach into his jacket where his guns are, but not pull them out or anything.
Okay. Frey will step forward towards Lawrence.
I think with you stepping closer, you can hear him, what he's muttering. It's like, that he did it? That. It's like almost a pause. And you hear the word in a tone that you've probably not heard from Lawrence the entire time you've traveled with him. Genuine anger. As he says, Rael Kayin.
Does that mean anything to me? Is that a name?
It's said with a lot of vitriol.
Frey has spent a majority of his life in Alasir, so I will say give me an int no.
All right. 3.
You recognize it as some sort of expletive, mostly from context clues.
Okay.
That's unfortunately all.
Frey will reach out and very gently put a hand on Lawrence's shoulder.
And at that shudder would stop pretty quick. It would be a deep breath as you would turn back. And he would look to Frey and then the others back to Frey. Apologies. Usually a bit better composed.
It is a lot to take in.
It's normal to be angry when someone deceives you, especially like that.
Lawrence, like, it takes a moment, but Lawrence laughs. It is a bitter and mirthless laugh. That's suppose I don't disagree.
Well, whatever we choose to do, we don't need to make that decision right now. So there's still time to sit with it. And I think we still have other concerns up here before we can leave.
That's true. I suppose we're supposed to go get Adrian's sister as well.
We promised.
Yeah. Not
Frey
to
will,
mention hopefully figuring out where Striga is.
and Frey will look over at Garrett as well.
Yeah.
At this point, I just want to get back home. So, we've got the book. It's time to get out of here. I mean, I guess we could ask how we could find Henrietta, because she had all her supplies. That would be the easiest way to figure it out rather than trying to stumble around trying to find out what happened to her. But same with Strieg. But at this point, I just want to get out of here. I've almost died how many times?
More than enough.
And poor Samar. I'm pretty sure Samar may have actually died, and thanks to magic has been brought back to life, so.
As far as what remains here goes, I can't say I know if we'll see much success, but as far as what to do next, I think it's somewhat clear, at least.
What's that?
Well, whenever anyone commits a terrible act, you, of course, it's only fair to offer them a chance to explain themselves. You sit down, table, have an honest conversation. Ask why.
Listen to
You really
Wallace.
think that he would be honest with you or give you a straight answer? Mir looks extremely dubious
Miss Tyrell, I do not think
about
it
the
matters
prospect.
one way or another. Because after he answers, I'm going to shoot him. And then I'm going to shoot him again.
Her like eyes kind of widen, and then she just kind of like, says, she kind of just, does like a little nod, like, all right, I'm understood.
Lawrence clears his throat. Apologies. Again, not often I lose my composure like this.
I'm okay with the idea of talking to him, but I think there's a question before that of whether we should even show ourselves in front of him. But I think Frey's right that we have a little while to decide on that. As for asking the book about Henrietta or whatever else we might want to ask it about, I think someone's going to look over at Frey. Do you feel like, I don't know, do you feel any consequences of using the book?
Frey furrows his brow a moment and seems to kind of like think and consider that. I mean, it was a little overwhelming in the moment. It was like a flood in my mind, but I feel fine.
Lawrence takes another deep breath before saying, regardless of how you're feeling at the moment, I would caution against doing that again without giving it some time to think through what you're asking or hoping to get from it. Miss Tyrell, what did you say it does exactly?
I'm looking at my notes. It can give you an answer on anything, as long as there, is a definitive answer. I don't think it could give answers that are like speculative, I suppose, or non-exact. But it comes with a cost. I feel like it kind of breaks the mind somehow, although the Mira kind of like cocks her head a little bit and looks at Frey. You seem okay.
What exactly is a broken mind?
I mean, like, what definition of that, what is the feeling that I got that is like the definition of that, Robert?
Can
Go
I
ahead.
add something to this?
Yeah.
That your humanity might slowly slip away or something like that? Is that
Yeah,
anything,
I think
Robert?
that's a pretty good way. Yeah, like over time you will just lose bits of yourself. Like knowledge is overwhelming, especially when it's kind of forced in there, and it will every time you learn something, it will replace something. And yeah, it will make your humanity slip away.
maybe that it kind of takes little bits and pieces of you away? Like, you lose your humanity a little bit, piece by piece? I mean, you saw the thing in there. I think that used to be human and used the book a lot, right?
Lawrence laughed that same grim laugh from before. Doctor, you did say that thing was human, right?
Yes. At least it felt that way.
Well, there you go.
But that would take time to happen, or if it even was the book.
Well, yes,
right?
I think so. I think
Frey looks a little panicked at the prospect.
no, I think he was. At least I get the sense that he was. I don't know if it was a he. Do we know that it was a he? I get the sense that it was down there a long time, and it did it a lot. So, like, maybe that was taking it to the extreme? I mean, if you do anything that's bad for you enough... She kind of, like, shrugs.
Mr. Farag, most things do take time, but it is some of these things can be a slippery slope. One day you take some laudanum for pain, and somewhere down the line you are unable to do much without it.
If you're at that point, you can't do much with it either because you're on so much. Yeah, we should use this as little as possible. I don't necessarily know how we can find Strigger Henrietta without really blundering around here without it, mind you, but we may just have to... I mean, Strig's apparently okay. He took her, so maybe he'll pop up again. But it'll be tricky getting back without any supplies.
And
I think most of that anger that Lawrence was experiencing has visually left him at this point, as he looks from Garrett to Frey, and he'll return the hand, placing his on Frey's shoulder, and say, "You told me before how much you care for your friends here. I would not
Frey
try to stop you.
nods.
Should you wish to use it to try to find out what happened to Mr. Street. I only ask that you consider what using it means."
It doesn't have to be you either. We could... I mean, if we spread it around, I guess, so to speak, that would make it less bad, right? Or at least it wouldn't stack up the same?
They say many hands make light work, but I don't know if I want to encourage them.
We don't want to turn it into a crutch, but maybe if there are other avenues to explore first. I mean, I think it all comes down to that thing in the lake. A voice told Strieg to go home, to go there. That spirit that I saw, I heard it. Also pointed towards the water. And I think if we want to free the pieces of people that were taken by it, that shadow's the key. I don't know how, I don't know what we can, I don't know if there's anything we can do.
I've already said what I'd like to try doing.
If you want to talk to the giant, right?
I'd like to try.
But I don't think the giant and the shadow are necessarily related.
They're not. I'm
Personally,
sorry,
I'd
make sure I
rather.
understand. Giant referring to the thing beneath the ground that we just got back from?
No, different.
No,
The thing
lake
in the
one.
lake. Yeah.
Oh, I'd assumed that was the shadow, great shadow that he was talking about.
Yeah, I assumed that too.
No,
Okay,
yeah, no,
Lawrence would not have said that.
yeah, no, the giant in the middle of the lake is not, I don't think, related to the shadow monster that got Garrett. No.
Well,
Doctor, I cannot recommend against this enough.
Personally,
are
I'd
not-
rather.
Beings you can work with or parlay with.
Well, personally, I'd rather gamble with my life than with my mind. So, if it's all the same to you, I'd prefer not to use the book if there's any other options.
I'm not saying you should use the book, but I will say that the former is equivalent to the latter. You would not have your mind should you die.
I'd rather die than be alive without my mind, is what I'm saying.
Glances at Frey, who seems fine.
I have had one other thought since we've been down below.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they're connected at all, especially since that man down there had said that the umbral didn't exist in the caverns below. But the tree down there, what is draining the life from it? Because something was draining the life from it.
Mr.
Probably
Willie
whatever
said
the
that
shadow
room.
is.
You said that room was
Sorry.
filled with magic. Alex?
I'm looking at my notes. I mean, I don't really have any further details written down besides that there is something that is kind of sucking the life out of the tree.
Lawrence asked, wasn't there a bunch of magic in the room at the bottom?
Oh,
And the answer is yes. Mira was like overwhelmed with how much magic there was there. That was there.
yeah, sorry, my memory is like shot to shit right now.
How much of that magic was residue of one of the 9 being buried there versus the giant that lives down there versus whatever stealing the magic from the tree?
Was the tree not the saint?
I don't think the tree was the saint itself. I think the tree was.
I believe the tree was the saint.
Unless it was Varrock and
yeah.
replied before.
What I have written down is okay, I don't really understand what I have written down, so maybe I should shut up.
God, Alex.
I mean, tell us anyway. I'm curious.
So what I wish my memory wasn't fucking Swiss cheese. What I have written down is Frey felt some kind of revelation about the universe through touching the tree, and that the revelation had come from meeting like the primordial god of inspection. I don't know how to pronounce this Welsh ass name, Robert.
Burdu. I have more detailed notes on that from Frey's experience.
Yeah, and that the thing that I wrote down, it does not Like it does not say
But-
like if it was like the tree that met the guy or what. So
My notes say
Alright,
the
by
tree
all means.
was a great genius that met Brudieu, according to Frey.
Yes. Can I just have Frey explain this?
yes.
In character.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so Frey will say, when I touched it, I felt that the tree, it was the withered remains of a magical genius, and what else would you call the saint of erudition? A Thir, but a magical genius, and he experienced a revelation. He met Brudu. He absorbed Brudu's power, but now something is draining the life from him, and I do believe that the tree is the saint, that they are one and the same. That creature down there said that Aether did not die, that he became something more. I think that something more is the tree. But there was a root down there, and Robert, the giant root we saw that seemed to like entangle, did that seem like a root that was, part of the tree, or was it like, did it not fit?
No, it was all part of the tree. Like I said,
Okay.
the tree, like,
Okay.
the best way I could describe it is like, it was poisoned and like growing in on itself. That kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. An ingrown tree.
All right, out of character real quick. I'm slightly confused. There was a grave that we took the book off the top of, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the giant said that the book belonged to whoever was in the grave.
Graves don't necessarily have to have things buried beneath them. Sometimes they can just be memorials.
I could also see it being Aether's body, but not, like.
His
Okay, yeah, so
essence.
that was my thought process, that Aether's body was buried and the tree grew out of his body rather than the tree actually being him.
I mean,
I guess it doesn't make a difference. I don't know.
There
That
was
just-
no above ground route that you saw, like leading to the grave. I can say that.
Okay.
Now, if you guys would like to go back down there and excavate,
Good.
No.
so I think my question is, what is draining the life from the tree? And is it connected to what's happening up here, the shadow? I mean, that tree is massive. Its roots must extend far, shouldn't it? I mean, I don't know much about trees, but I assume they do.
I think that would make sense.
Potentially. It seems many grew within it.
I guess if the question is what's draining the life from the tree, I mean, my best guess would be something umbral, like the shadow. Didn't what's his face, the Beacon Knight man, say that the shadow was coming, that it was encroaching, that it was growing? That's part of what we were seeing up here.
He said that the year of the Black Sun, it was a flag being planted, and that it would come again. But this thing, he called it the Dark King, and it brought about the fall of Einfaris. What do I know
He
about
was also
Einfaris?
Dark raving mad.
Yeah.
As far as we know, he never made it down the tree to actually find out about what any of this was.
That is a possibility. We can't take everything he said at face value, but it doesn't mean there isn't something valuable to be found in it. If it can help us make sense of what's going on up here.
Robert, were there magical signs of the Black Sun before it happened? Or was it like it came out of nowhere?
So I know Ronnie had asked a little bit ago about what Frey knew about the Black Sun. So I know I've went into this history some, I don't remember where, but for people who have like spent time reading books or anything like super histrological or have spent extended time in Eindarid, you would know that the Umbraei, like Einferus essentially underwent something similar, except
Sorry, can we back up at where's Einfaris?
Einferus is up and to the right. You can see where it says Pharesian Wastes, all the way, the Heartland Pharesian Wastes. Yeah, that was the old kingdom, essentially, that fell hundreds of years ago. And that's how Azlake became a capital, because it was the biggest city that wasn't subject to the fall.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Ping,
But,
can I get a ping?
Uh,
I'm blind. I'm blinding.
just zoom all the way out, Alex. It's the only thing in the top right corner of the map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
did not zoom out
everything
enough.
to the right of the mountains.
All right, got it.
But no, so yeah, the idea is the Umbraei were the fall of Einferus.
Okay.
To this day, it is still this dark, umbral-plagued place. There's a reason that, like, no one has been able to come back. The Beacon Knights were obsessed with it, obsessed with the Umbraei, afraid. Like, this is probably a lot more, like, people aren't exactly sure of. So, you know, kind of tailor what you would know based on how worldly your character would be. But the Beacon Knights, essentially, like, they set up and they were sending groups into the Pharesian Wastes trying to see what can be saved, things like that. And then the Black Sun happened and they became like the foremost experts. They were the only ones who had any kind of training, any kind of knowledge, anything about the Umbraei. So yeah, the fall of Einferus, and that was... I pulled my timeline. 1 second. 1397 was peace between Rayclow and Einferus. 1425. So that was 230 years ago.
That was when Einfaris fell.
Yes, 1425. King Rodham I specifically, he kind of went fucking crazy, and with it came the rise of the Umbraei. Some people say, like, yeah, like, some people say, you know, like, there's a lot of, like, arguments about what happened, if it was two unrelated things or if they were connected. Obviously, given everything that happened, no one's been able to get a direct answer.
Okay, what's the king's name?
Ludham?
Rodham the First.
Thank you.
As in Hillary?
You're skating on thin ice, buddy.
Interesting. Okay.
He did have a son, Prince Clinton, as well.
Prince Bill.
No, those were his old advisors. They just sat around cracking jokes from a pew like far away.
Statler and Waldorf?
No, Bill and Bob.
Oh. Okay.
Ew.
Anyway, there's a lot more to it. I gave you guys the simplest version.
Yeah.
There's a
Okay,
lot more
so-
history to Einferus that you guys don't give a shit about. So
Interesting. Okay. I feel like my understanding, which is now wrong, I understand, is that the Umbrae came around when the Black Sun happened, but they existed beforehand. Maybe they didn't exist.
they didn't exist
where we
here.
are now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, right.
They had
Okay.
never followed. Like,
Yeah,
they emitted out, like, Ground Zero was the Frisian capital.
right. Okay.
But the ruins we found here, they're older than the Black Sun, right?
What do you mean?
Around the lake.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
village.
Like, these are hundreds and hundreds of years old. Like, most of it, you'd wager at least a couple hundred years old. Could be, like, obviously, I don't think anyone in this party is really an expert carpenter.
Right, it's
So,
No.
based on that, I can't give you any specifics, but, like, it's pretty fucking old.
not. Okay.
Do you have a guess of what you think is draining the life from the tree?
I mean, my thought is the shadow. I mean, we've seen it. It's there. But I don't truly know, but maybe the souls who linger in this place do know.
It's usually the obvious answer whenever there's a question like this. Either it's a shadow or the giant down there.
I can't see that creature down below draining the life from all that's left of
Beloved.
someone he loved.
Yeah.
Unless it didn't know it was doing it.
That is a possibility.
It did not seem the most present.
I mean, if we could.
Are you hoping to talk to the spirits around here and see if you can find out more?
It's a possibility, or maybe I could find out more if I go back to the tree. Though I really don't want to go back down below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the only ideas I have at the moment, and I know that you have your thought, Samar.
Well, my fingers tell me that I should defer to other people's judgment for a little while, so given how vehemently people have told me not to do what I want to do, I will refrain.
Real quick, I apologize for cutting everyone off. We need to take a quick 2-second break. I'm so sorry taking one this early. Righto. Again, I apologize for the interruption and then the extended heat session with Alex where she just was heated on everything for...
You did this, Robert.
I did this. I
He
did
didn't
this.
do it. I mean, I guess he called for a break.
Gave the
I
opportunity.
called for a break. I
He did.
allowed the bait to be placed so that you could
He gave
reel
you a
them all
platform.
in. I platformed you, Alex.
I don't like that. Don't say that. Anyway,
I'm scared now.
Sorry, one more quick thing. Did everybody look at my cute picture of my cats?
Where
my
is
eyes
it?
glaze
Where is
over when
it?
people
Is it-
post pictures of animals.
Good.
Yes,
That's how
and
I feel
everybody
about
look.
Marvel movies.
Good.
Yes, it is good. They are very fluffy, and I see that there is My brain thought that it was like a Psyduck. What is that little yellow plushie?
Is that one of those like invertible like squids?
It's not, but I do actually have one of those. No, this is a little Christmas reindeer that my mom got me several years ago when I was
I
sick.
see it now. I see it.
Yeah. And I don't know why. I just love this thing and I sleep with it every night.
Yeah, I got creatures on my bed.
I only have 2 creatures on my bed.
I am the creature on my bed.
Same.
Anyway, so
Yes.
with that, you are free to continue your conversation, as we have had as many possible distractions in the past 10 minutes as humanly possible.
I don't know if that's true, but okay.
Stop addressing it. Let's just continue.
I know.
I guess we didn't have a
I was
meta.
not actually talking about my thing.
You know what? Alex was right. We did not have a meta distraction about talking about distractions. So now we've had the most possible.
Yeah, there you go. It's
Blame is
perfect and
equal.
it's done.
Okay, well, let me start then. So Frey would, thinking about it a moment. Do we know anything about why this village fell to ruin? I mean, could it have had something to do with the Umbrii here? I mean, could they have been here before the Black Sun?
Hard to say without having been here.
Suppose we don't really know why,
Yeah.
or at
It could
least
also be
You
the
can
Tower
ask
of
your
War.
book.
I don't remember learning about why.
It could also be the Kyrovore.
Do those
How long
live
do
that
those
long?
live?
I don't know. I guess it's a good question.
That is a good question. So unfortunately, not something a lot of people are able to study.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to like hang out with them long enough to see their life cycle without getting eaten.
Yeah. But I mean, it's certainly possible that it was the Umbrii.
Maybe we should take another look around the village.
Yeah, if we have to go get Adrian's sister anyway.
It makes sense.
Do we have to get her?
We did
Didn't we
promise.
promise?
She may not be in a place to be gotten.
We may not be able to help her. I mean, we can try. I'm not saying we shouldn't.
I mean, we already teleported the man away.
That's kind of assuming
Condemning
we
the
actually
sister to die
teleported
would
him
be-
away and not into whatever shadow thing like you sent the stone monster
Well,
where it was up to its shoulders in shadow and just sucked into the ground.
I mean, you all were there. You didn't see any shadows when he vanished.
No, we just saw him vanish in the darkness.
I'm gonna choose to believe Frey when he says that he's got sent home. I think the layered questions of whether that's actually where he got sent is probably not very useful, given that we can't answer them anyway.
I
No,
agree with
you're
that.
right. You're right.
Frey
On one
looks
hand,
down
it'd be a
at
shame. On the other
Doing?
hand, also somewhat of a shame.
Yep.
I believe in you.
Either way, he's functionally gone, so we nothing for it.
What time is it at this point?
It's like late afternoon, early evening. Like 4 or 5-ish.
Should we head for the village now then?
That's a good
How
idea.
far away is it?
You said 5, like in the evening?
Yeah.
How far away is it
I would remind that
from where we are?
I'd remind that the reason we left the village previously hunts at night.
Yeah, they do tend to hunt at night. So if we go during the day, that would probably be safest.
We
I
could
mean,
wait until morning then.
is this place safer? Our mule got
I mean-
taken into the ocean.
No place is genuinely safe here. Let's all remember that. But as far as this place goes, it's at least not near the water, nor is it immediately next to where the carnivore sleeps.
And
So
we'll
there are-
at least be able to look out for each other. Henrietta didn't have anybody.
Okay.
Just if Streak does appear, nobody follow him into the water.
I'll do my best.
All right, Robert. I guess we're taking it, calling it an early day.
Yeah.
Do we have any food?
Yeah, we were able to manage to get all the rations back.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, all the stuff was kind of abandoned. Only, only Henrietta was taken in the end.
Okay.
So we have our regular rations, but not our emergency rations. Got it.
That's horrible.
Teehee. Anyway. Lawrence is gonna set about re-preparing his stuff early, his poisons early.
I'll, do camp chores, gather firewood, etc.
So, calling it early then.
Yeah.
All
Frey
right, guys,
will,
good session. Good session. All right. Anyway.
Frey will see if anybody else wants to hold on to the book.
I mean,
Do you not trust yourself with it, or are you tempting us?
How does that go? Like, is Frey just like call that out in the middle of camp, or?
I think Frey is kind of like looking at the book, still kind of held in his arms, like, as they're finishing this conversation. It'll just be like, I mean, does anybody want to hold on to this?
I could put it in my backpack if you want.
I think one more step should be called for there. Lawrence will pull out some like cloth and go to like, bind it with it, like wrap it so it's not immediately openable.
All right, excellent. Yeah, Frey will let him, and then it can go to Mira.
Sure.
All right. So, with that, is there anything else specific you guys are doing besides setting up camp?
Not really, but I will mention that Lawrence's mind is certainly elsewhere that evening.
Nope, I'm trying to get inside a tent as soon as I can because everything feels weird being outside. Does being inside a tent count as being inside?
Close enough.
And Frey will also set himself up with his bedroll and miss deeply having a tent.
I think Samara unwraps her hand and is just trying to like, the feeling of like when you look in a fridge and then like 10 minutes later you look in the fridge again because you're hoping something will have like shown up. I think they're just like unwrapping their hand, hoping they'll figure out what they can do about it now. And then they're like, I still have nothing else to do, so. Well, okay, I'll just wrap it again.
Lawrence will ask Samar how the pain is.
The pain is fine. I just don't have fingers anymore, really. I mean, I guess I do, but they're not the way that they were before, which is, I
Not
suppose, what
everyone's
I
that
get.
lucky.
Yeah, fair.
I've seen people lose hands, arms,
Yeah,
various places.
You guys definitely saved my fingers, so thank you. I do appreciate it.
Give yourself some credit too. Not many can operate on themselves like that.
Still a little short on one though.
Yeah.
Well considered a battle wound.
Yeah. The greatest battle any of us face against ourselves.
Hey, you tell anyone what you want to, and I'll back you up on it. I won't tell them that you did that to yourself.
No, I suppose it matches my brand.
What exactly is your brand?
Being hyper competent at the things I'm good at, and then being careless enough to get myself killed. Otherwise,
Don't forget humble.
well, humility when you're good at something is just stupidity.
I wouldn't say that. Sometimes you're better off having people not know that you're good at something.
I mean, you guys all know anyway.
Lawrence gives a sensible chuckle, still mixing poisons.
You said the thing, William.
I did.
I'm perfectly comfortable accepting that I'm good at the things that I'm good at. I worked hard to make that happen. There's plenty of things I'm not good at, and I'm happy to admit those too. So,
And how did that all work out? Did you learn from someone? You can't say
Yeah.
you were self-taught, can you?
no, I studied at the Lucian Ray. I was well on my way to becoming a bright. I guess I was a bright, sort of. The fact that I'm
medicine
not
there?
now. Sorry?
They teach medicine there?
Healing magic, yeah. And the necessary medicine to make healing magic work. Yeah. It's the fact that I'm not a bright currently is a source of some consternation. So, once we are back in town, maybe don't, share my name everywhere, I guess. But as long as we're not an Artivista, it's fine, probably.
I don't see why anyone would go after a simple doctor working with a band of mercenaries.
Yeah, I mean, I like glance at the rest of the party. Like, I have had some people come after me already, although I suppose I did go directly to the Lucian Ray in that situation, so I suppose that's not quite the same as having people come after me when I'm out and about.
I thought you were referring to what happened in town. I was going to say, maybe don't stir that pot if you don't want to be gone after.
I mean,
Yeah,
That
we did
too, I
have to
suppose.
knock
Wasn't
a
it-
guy out back in Artivista
But
and
wasn't
hide
it
him.
something like your mentor told you to stop and then they kind of disappeared?
yes, they
So-
told me to get out of Dodge, and I did, but I'm not sure that their advice was Lucian Ray sanctioned.
Well, all I mean is that if someone that you care about disappears, then you're going to want to look for them.
Correct. That is why I went, but I suppose there might have been better ways to do it. I don't know. Was a little stupid, I think.
I may be lost. Are you referring to what happened back in Fortuny Soul, or?
This was in Artivista before we left.
Ah,
Oh, yes,
I-
it was before we met you.
Yeah, I went to the Lucian Ray because we had some questions and I was hoping to track down my old mentor. I went under, a false name, but I suppose they saw right through that. And they told me that my mentor was on a indefinite sabbatical. They wouldn't tell me where she was, and then they had somebody tail me home, which thankfully Mira and the others caught. So
Well, you're
They were
lucky for that, I
invisible.
suppose.
yeah, definitely.
Are you still looking?
I mean, I would love to find her, but I don't know. I don't know who I can ask or where I can find out without raising alarms. So
No leads, huh? Well, none hot.
yeah,
Or none that aren't hot.
I think they glance over at the book, just thinking, but
A shame.
sort of shake their head.
A terrible shame, Doctor.
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, I'm good at the things I'm good at, thanks to having some very good teachers, and other things I'm not good at, such as not dying as soon as a stiff breeze hits me. So it is what it is.
You mentioned growing up in Alessier, right?
Yes, correct.
Was it rough?
No, not really. I had a wonderful family. It really only got rough once I left Alessier. I was literally on the way to Artavista to try to enroll at the Lucian Ray, and then the Black Sun hit. So
Hmm.
eventually I ended up joining the Lucian Ray, so that's where I spent all of my school age years, I guess.
Suppose all that matters that you got there.
Yeah. That's how I like to look at it.
They genuinely teach medicine there.
Yeah.
Never would have thought.
Yeah.
I thought they only did magical studies.
It's all magic, I mean, most of my magic is medicine. Most of my medicine is magic. And I guess most of my magic is medicine.
Plus, you got to learn about anatomy and stuff if you're going to be taking things apart for parts and stuff in magical components.
Yep. And I mean, to be clear, it's not the most popular specialty. But my mentor took me on personally because I impressed her with my skills in healing magic. That's sort of always been my specialty. So she decided to take me under her wing then. But, it's not surprising that you haven't seen many other people who do this. It's not what most people do when they're there.
You don't see mages every day.
Yeah.
Well, unless
I
you're
guess you
traveling
do.
with
Yeah.
any gestures of the group. But did I catch that? You said you were did Mr. Viacourt imply you were a butcher?
Me? No.
About taking things
Not
apart?
specifically, no, but it I'm assuming it would be part of the curriculum that they would teach if for certain classes, if you were more interested in finding various mechanical components. Not that they would, for example, specialize as butcher, but anatomy would be something that would be taught in general.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose I did earn my way into the Lucian Array by doing some butchering, I guess you could call it.
But
There,
Now-
I asked.
Now, what does that
you were
metaphor mean?
butchering?
Myself, actually. I was young. I was having trouble demonstrating that I had magical skills, and they were pretty ready to pass on me because I couldn't make my healing magic happen. So in the room where I was on audition, I stabbed myself and then healed myself because that, kicked me into high gear. And then that convinced them. I mean, they made it pretty clear that that was a one-time thing and that I can't do that kind of thing again, but it did impress them, luckily. So I guess
Lawrence chuckles.
that's the most butchering I've ever done, but
So it's not your first time doing surgery on yourself.
no, I suppose it isn't.
I suppose you have me beat then on 2-1.
All right. So, is there anything else before everyone heads to bed?
I don't think so.
Guess not.
No?
Freya's just gonna be sketching for the rest of the evening.
Nice.
It is bedtime.
In that case, watch order, please. I know Mira's
Well,
gonna be going all night, so
Lawrence at the end.
wisdom notice
Freya
from
will
Mira
do
first.
First watch. Or if nobody will make him stay up, he'll just sleep.
You can take first watch.
Yeah, hang out with me.
All right, Freya's been voluntold into first watch.
All right.
I'll go for second or third.
I'll take third.
Do I have a negative to my because I'm outside?
Technically, I just I do the opposite of what Worlds Without Number recommends, and I just kind of alter the DC in my head. So don't worry about it.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so Freya and Mira, the first watch is yours.
I
It
rolled a
is.
10.
It is quiet as the sun sets, and the threats of umbral shadows begin to exist again in the world. The relative relaxation of the day, even out here, gives way to the uncomfortability of what may come next. But thankfully, at least for you, Frey, there's nothing particularly interesting that happens before you're able to get to bed. And of course, if anyone has anything they want to talk about with anybody when they're up, I guess specifically with Mira, who's always up, feel free. Next watch.
Garrett,
I guess that would be me.
All right, Gary.
Yeah.
Wisdom notice.
Which one of you?
I'm not gonna re-roll that. I feel like that is thematically appropriate.
What was the wording of Garrett's thing exactly?
I am like anxious and uncomfortable outside,
No longer has a place among the stars, Alex.
especially
oh,
at
yeah,
night.
that was what I meant.
Yeah, no longer have a place among the stars, especially at night though.
Well, yeah, that's when you can see the stars
Yep.
for the most part.
Well,
Garrett is not too big of a fan of Mira right now, so I guess
they're just awkwardly avoiding each other.
yeah. She would probably kind of feel bad and want to ask him if he's all right, but then be like, "Oh, but he doesn't like me right now," and then just be kind of sad.
And
Before we move on to the next thing though, Garrett would like be visibly uncomfortable for the first time outdoors that you've seen him. and just constantly twitching at normal night sounds, just on edge and everything, and just looking kind of exhausted. He'd also kind of be keeping a little bit of a watch on you as well. Just, anytime some kind of noise happened, like behind where you were, he'd immediately just kind of like whip around and like try to not look like he's looking at you for having made the noise. But otherwise, he'd be pretty quiet.
I imagine it's not dissimilar to how Strieg acted during Paranoia Infortuni Soul, but without the organized competence that came with it, like more high-strung.
Yeah.
I imagine the full moon lighting up the night is not helping either.
No.
Every shadow seems that much longer. Every few and far between bird and sound and splash and everything just seems that much worse. But alas, there is nothing happening. The shadows of the occasional cloud on this fairly open night give way to, thankfully, Garrett getting back into your tent, getting back into bed.
Yeah. Being as it is a two-person tent, he would be willing to share it with either Samar or Lawrence. And
I believe
Right.
Lawrence was sharing with Samar, was where
Okay.
one of the tents was. Was the other one destroyed?
one tent was destroyed. Was that Garrett's tent that got destroyed?
I think so, because Lawrence has his tent still.
Oh, great. Okay, yeah. So Garrett doesn't have a tent, so he's stuck outside. Never mind then.
Okay.
He can be crammed. He can be crammed in there.
He's...
with the others.
Oh.
Snug
I
as
mean,
a
he can
bug in a rug.
sleep in there after his watch, because either first Samara and then Lawrence will be off.
It'll be the
their
first
watch,
watch
so-
that there's no room.
Yeah.
And he gets a nice pre-warmed bed.
Okay, my turn.
Go for it. Wow, y'all are not paying any attention tonight, but
We sure aren't.
occasionally, out there in the darkness over the lake, you think you see these rippling shadows, but when you try and focus on them, there is nothing there. Just kind of an out of the corner of your eye thing. Otherwise, is a mundane night. And we get on to Larry.
Yuppers. Roll first, yeah?
Yep.
Hee keeping things consistent.
Bray's the only one paying attention when there's nothing to watch. You wake up, same kind of, you guys have something resembling a routine since you left, and getting up, preparing, organizing your things, doing it by full moonlight when it's not very overcast certainly helps, but beyond that, it is a boring night. The shadows are long and not threatening, but there's a world where a more paranoid person might think the shadows are out to get them.
Lawrence is kind of like waving his hands near the fire, just taking in the fact that he literally doesn't have a shadow. He's not quite frowning, but he doesn't look very pleased, I'd say.
The cost of doing business.
And Robert, I think Lawrence is gonna do that thing where he says he's gonna use the restroom and goes to check on that thing. He'll step away from the camp for a moment.
Righty, 1 second. I'm pulling up all of your stuff.
Alex, he'd probably ask Mira to keep an ear out for him in case he gets grabbed.
You'd be worried.
I will PM you.
Larry dies.
Stop PM, Robert.
It's close enough.
So what do the rest of us think Lawrence is hiding? He has Henrietta held hostage.
Henrietta's just behind a tree down the fucking street.
A gag in her mouth.
He's got the
because
real
she's gonna-
rations, not just the emergency rations.
He's adding pepper to his rations.
He had like
Like
fake
a king.
hooves on the bottom of his boots to fake like she went into the fucking lake. Oh,
He's in
Mira
his
probably
mom had his
doesn't think
restroom.
any untoward. Yeah, you know, she's probably thinking, oh, you know, humans have to pee sometimes.
Still, man, takes him a while. It's fine. Yeah, he'll come back after a minute or two. Take a seat back down. You know. Eventually, get the rations ready. He washes his hands first.
oh.
Uh,
All right. And with that, the moon slowly gives way to the light of the sun. It is a new day.
Thanks.
yes, it is. Lawrence will ask a question to Garrett once the day is beginning. I think.
Certainly. What's the question?
It's hands him his morning ration. Just like, say, Mr. Villacourt, did you have one before?
Have one what?
A place among the stars?
I don't know. I will tell you right now, I did not feel comfortable outside last night for the first time in decades. You know, when you're little and you're outside late at night, maybe on a camping trip or just out, you wander outside, you can't sleep, so you go outside to walk around, and everything just feels spookier.
I'm surprised you were at all comfortable before, given the Umbria and your concerns for the others.
That was normal. I did that for a whole year in the Black Sun, where we were actually running into Umbria on a regular basis. And then I was wayfinding for a while, so you get a little more used to it. But
Let's
I
see.
did not sleep well last night. I didn't do well at all, and it still doesn't feel right being outside right now. So I don't know. Maybe I had a place. Maybe we all have not so much a place in the stars, but we're aware of we're not aware of how small we are because we're used to being out there or something. I don't know, but something doesn't.
Mr.
I
Viacourt.
don't feel right.
If that persists, if you still feel this way tonight, let me know before you settle in. I think I have something for that.
I appreciate it. I think it'll probably persist because you seem still to be missing your shadow.
Yes. Lauren shrugs. Like I said, if you need something for it, just let me know. Unfortunately, I did not bring anything for the shadow issue.
Well, I'll Garrett kind of lifts his ration in acknowledgement and wanders over to a quiet corner back up against a tree and starts eating it. For an emergency ration, it's actually pretty good. It's better than anything he had in the army for when they were out for in the wilderness for a while, tracking down either bandits or scouting Umbraei movements. So far cry from what he was eating back in Viste, though, where his thoughts ever increasingly reach. He just, I think this is the first time on this adventure that he's truly felt not only his age, but truly how much he's kind of starting to hate it out in the outdoors. He just kind of wants to go home.
I wasn't ready for Garrett's transformation to be this fucking depressing.
Dude,
Bro.
you sucked away half his memories and then took away his ability to feel comfortable outside.
You kind of
You
fuck you
did
up,
this.
It's you!
So, you all slowly awaken. What's the plan for the day?
I think after Frey has gotten up and, gotten his breakfast, looking a little uneasy, a hand pressed over his chest, and I think after a while he is going to approach Samar.
Hello.
I may have a I'm alive, right?
Uh-oh.
Interesting question. Let's find out. I will use my mind light to test if Frey's alive.
I mean, that is a living human mind. That is
Can I-
Frey.
Can I interject?
Sure.
Doctor, Mr. Varrock. Usually you can't ask that question if you aren't.
I
Blinks.
I know. I think Samar pointedly looks over at Mira and then back at Lawrence.
I mean, usually still applies, I guess.
I said usually.
What is Samar? I don't know if this will affect Frey or not, but what about their blood pressure? I mean, would it be too high or low? Would it make extra strenuous activities more difficult for them?
Hold on. Is blood pressure a concept, first of all?
Heartbeats are.
Yeah, I'm sure they would know about blood pressure. I mean, that is definitely something that they were checking for when they were bleeding you with leeches, and I feel like we're slightly past the bleed you with leeches stage in development here.
I don't think Frey has told anybody that his heart is not working.
Oh, never mind then. I retract that
I was
statement.
building to
Yeah.
that.
I
Just to
retract that
clarify.
statement. I
But no,
apologize.
it
We'll
looks
just
like
pretend I didn't say
blood
that.
pressure monitoring and stuff was not really a thing until like the 1800s.
Okay, so then
a
never
more,
mind. We'll just
a more relevant comment might be, asking if this is about the heart thing.
Yeah, we'll just okay. So we'll just scratch that.
Yeah, I think
we wouldn't
Samar
even
looks
know about
over.
the heart thing.
Yeah, I think Samar looks over at Frey and is like, "But for all intents and purposes, you seem to be alive. Yes. Is there a reason you think you wouldn't be?"
I haven't been able to find my heartbeat since yesterday. But I can't. And he's kind of like, pressing his hand over his chest in like the vicinity, and I don't feel anything. And does Frey like feel physically fine, or does he like feel like, symptoms of like low blood pressure, like, fatigue, dizziness, that sort of thing, lightheadedness?
Feels fine, just no heartbeat.
Okay.
Like you don't get like that. Like when you do something intense for a second and you'll like feel like the pounding in your head and you think, and then like you feel your heartbeat and everything. Nothing.
Okay.
I think they're
physically
gonna
feel fine.
I think they're gonna like take two fingers and put them, like where your carotid is, like at your neck to find your pulse there, and they're gonna take their other hand and like rest them on your wrist to see if they can find your pulse there, and just like checking in like the two places where it should be most obvious. I am assuming I do not feel a pulse.
Nothing at all.
I think they sort of slowly like pull their hands away and they make eye contact with you. They're like, well, I would imagine that if you had a pulse, I'd be able to find it, and I can't find it either. So I guess you're correct. I don't think that you have a heartbeat anymore.
That's that creature down below, when we were trading things, he said he would take my heart for a time. I mean, I feel fine. I don't really feel any different, just that absence.
Can
But-
I like, I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to do this. Is there a way for me to figure out if there is a heart there and it's just not beating?
I mean,
Please
yeah, you
don't-
could tear
don't
the chest. You could
dissect
tear,
Frey.
yeah. If you tear Frey's chest open, you can see if there's a heart there.
You could
Well, I'd like-
punch him in the chest where his heart is and see if he falls down.
Well, can I do like one of those? There's like a thing where you what am I trying to say? You like brace your hand against her chest and you like tap it like you're playing a drum or something to see if it's hollow. You know what I'm talking about?
Can't say
Very
that I do.
medical. Very medical, that.
Well, I think there is a thing where like you do that with somebody's like stomach or something to figure out if you hear like a hollow sound or you hear like something's full of fluid or whatever, or you do it with their lungs, I think. Can I try doing that to see if I can tell if there is a heart and it's not beating, or if there's no heart there? Like, how literal is I'm gonna take your heart for a while?
I wish I could give you a better answer, but I'm going to say no, outside of, like, at least minor surgery. You can't really do anything to look into Frey's literal chest and see if he has a literal heart in there.
Okay, fine. Can I take a knife or something and just prick? No, I'm not gonna stab him. Can I just like prick his finger or something to see if he does bleed?
That's up to Frey.
How is Samar presenting this to Frey?
I don't think they say anything. They pull out a knife, they grab your finger, and then they like make eye contact with you and pause, just like it's clear what they're gonna do, and this is your time to stop them.
How does Frey know they're not going to just take a finger off? Maybe they want to shorten one of Frey's fingers, like one of theirs is now.
Does Garrett say that?
No, Garrett does not say that.
It was Samar was one of the ones he trusts, so maybe Garrett's suggesting that.
Yeah, Frey looks a little alarmed for a moment as you're suddenly pulling out this knife and holding his hand. And just he's trying to pull his hand back, and I don't need you to cut me open.
I'm just gonna prick you. I just like to see if you still have blood.
Like, there's another way to do that.
Wouldn't a needle from like a sewing kit do better? I'm sure.
Frey has a sewing kit.
Fine. I mean, I wasn't going to cut your finger open. I was just gonna prick it. You can use a needle if you'd like.
I have one. And Frey will go and hurry over to his sewing kit and produce the needle, which is not at all sterile.
Put it over the fire, Mr. Frog, before you use it.
Does it need to be sterile? Can't Samar just heal the finger afterwards?
Do you heal infections, Doctor? With magic?
I mean, I can heal their symptoms once they happen. I don't think I can.
Put it over the fire first, Mr.
Yeah,
Frog.
I mean, you know.
All right. And he'll try and awkwardly figure out how to hold this little thing over the fire without burning himself.
I can do it.
He will hand the needle to Mira.
I'll do it.
So wait, Samar, you're saying that like when you heal us, it doesn't automatically heal any infections or whatever that we could have gotten from getting dirt in the wound or a rusty sword run through us or whatever it is?
I think if you're not yet sick, it'll probably keep you from becoming sick as a result of whatever I healed. But
yeah, so we don't need to sterilize the needle.
Sure, but I mean, I don't know. Do we really want to use healing?
I mean, I guess it
for a pinprick.
It uses your magic for just a finger prick is a bit much. You're
it
right.
Also takes a toll on the body, you know, to be healed magically. So,
I mean, speaking of that, and this didn't even occur to me until, I mean, I feel fine, so I'm sure it's not an issue. But what about all the wood?
I mean, I'll put it this way. What my healing magic essentially does is speed up the natural healing process. Assuming that if you had let your body heal for several days, the wood would not have healed into your body. You can be pretty certain that the wood has all been removed also. It will heal, it will be ejected as it's healing, but you know.
But if there's nobody there to pull it out...
Mr. Rock, I would recommend not thinking on this matter too much more for your own health. Mentally speaking.
Looks down at his arm and just kind of like, you know, unconsciously kind of like squeezing along it, seeing if he could like feel anything.
I'm pretty certain you don't have wood. I suppose I can't be positive without cutting you open to check, but I would imagine that for similar reasons as what you just told me, you don't want me to do that, so...
Robert, does Frey like feel anything that feels like he might have like splinters stuck in his skin?
No?
Okay.
How about you, Doctor? Are you feeling particularly shapeless in the name category?
I don't really know what that means. It sounds like you can all still say my name.
But can I, Doctor?
Interesting question. Somebody say my
You
name.
tell that Lawrence making obvious he's fucking around.
Yeah.
What about the reflection thing?
I suppose I assumed that was metaphorical.
I literally don't have a shadow, Doctor.
Huh. Somebody give me a mirror.
Do we have one?
Who carries a mirror with them into the wilderness?
Maybe Frey?
I mean, I don't have one in my inventory, but I feel like he would carry like a little like pocket mirror. Can I say he has a pocket mirror?
That's
I like the
fine.
fact that all of us immediately went
What happened to
Frey.
the periscope mirror? What happened to the periscope mirror?
Didn't die with
I
Rohan?
wish. Apparently, I was pretty sure that we grabbed all of his stuff, but I guess if nobody added it to their inventory, then maybe not.
Your party sucks, dude.
We did
wanna
take it. I
loot
don't think
our
anyone
friend's
actively
dead
added
body?
it, though.
Lawrence woulda.
No, because all of his magical stuff was at the
barn.
the barn where you guys had all the refugees, because that's
yeah,
also
yes,
where
that is true.
Yes,
the
and,
rich
it,
people thing was.
and you guys left it there.
No,
we-
they were there when
Yeah, we were all
went
in the
there
barn with
because
the
they got the
refugees when it
refugees.
blew
Yeah,
up.
so
Some of the
so they
people
would have
left.
taken the
Yeah.
stuff, I assume.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like,
We took
Okay.
his stuff with us. We just I thought the only thing we couldn't find was the ring because we didn't really look for it because
also the
repeats
amulet was
mixed pieces of
missing.
No, the amulet. You specifically said it wasn't.
which
Well, you guys don't
What was
have
the
it.
amulet
I remember
again?
that. The royal
'Cause that was
family.
oh,
That
the
was
royal
the-
family amulet.
That
yeah.
was the specific thing that I asked. Is that still there? And you said it was. Because I was like, that's
Yeah.
enough for us to retire on. Absolutely, that has to be there.
Somewhat, we did. We should have divvied that up and actually put that down in our inventory.
Like, we might not have it on us
That
right
was
now,
ours.
but like, I do remember nobody stole it. I would imagine that somebody took all of Rohan's stuff, but I guess if nobody specified,
At some
then-
point, we need to have a more elaborate discussion about what happened there, because I had a lot of assumptions that are different than what you guys seem to be assuming.
I
Okay.
assumed we had lost all of Rohan's stuff.
That's about where I
I
was.
thought we had taken it.
I also assumed that, I guess.
What I knew was that Rowan left his like you guys left like your bags with the stuff that you didn't need at the barn, and then a bunch of it was missing when you eventually got back, along when some of the refugees left, but who had presumably taken it.
Well, okay, my assumption was that we did lose the Moonstone bracelet or whatever because that was on Rohan and nobody
The
got that from his
Moonflower
body.
bracelet
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes.
and the coin.
I know that. I
Yeah,
think
the
maybe
Giggle
the
coin
coin
was-
was at the thing, but like whatever. I don't care if that's gone. But I do remember specifically that the amulet at least was in his belongings at the barn, and that you said that that wasn't missing.
Okay.
Now,
I
if nobody
don't
grabbed
remember
it
that,
afterwards,
but,
that's
like,
fine.
yeah.
That's up to other people. I was dead, so
Yeah.
like I have no control over
We'll
that.
we'll,
but
we'll
yeah.
have this discussion at a later date.
Sure, that's fine.
We'll try and figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, you know
So if
what?
we-
You know what? You know what? William, you have homework this
Hi.
week.
Fuck you. I don't do homework. I'm not
No,
hustling.
if you guys could, I will try. If you guys could also try, I'll try and figure out what session it was, and
Yeah.
we'll see if we can. I don't remember if that was discussed in session or out, so we will use our powers to see if anything was mentioned.
Okay.
With our powers
I can
combined.
figure that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'll contribute to this by doing a goof. Frey doesn't see the judgment in Lawrence's eyes because they're covered by the glasses, but he can feel it for the fact that he's carrying a mirror.
Rude.
Yes, he does pull out a little like compact mirror out of his bag, and he'll just hand it to Samar.
Yeah, you know
And
what?
just-
It occurs to me. I imagine Samar just didn't see their reflection in Lawrence's glasses as well, like over a fire or something. Anyway, if they really looked.
That's fascinating.
But
yeah,
how
no,
much is Samara admire Lawrence's glasses?
Yeah, I feel like I feel like at this point they don't look at your glasses because they're like, I already know what's behind those. Like,
Yeah.
we're fine.
But no,
Yeah, I will look in the mirror.
you see nothing. Well, you see, like, I imagine you're kind of bent over, so you see a slightly overcast, but ultimately nice sky.
Okay. I think you see them just kind of freeze and just stare at the mirror, just like trying to process the fact that this was literal.
You go.
If I stand with someone behind me and I hold up the mirror so that like it's facing me and then the person behind me, do I see the person behind me or do I just see, like, are they missing? Is it like I'm invisible?
Okay, so you turn so that, you're standing right in front of Mira?
Yeah, and then the mirror's pointing at me, and
Yeah.
then behind me is Mira.
You see Mira.
Huh.
Mars a vampire.
Interesting.
Samar,
Mm-hmm.
it said it took the shape of your name.
Yeah.
I will hand Samar a stick. Can you try writing your name in the dirt here?
I think you see them like still frozen for another moment or two, and then they sort of like shake themselves free, and they're like, okay. Okay. They'll hand the mirror back to Frey and take the stick, and they'll try to write down their name in the sand.
You get about half of the S done, and the stick breaks in half.
This is the stuff of fairy tales, the kind that parents tell their children to keep them from misbehaving.
I mean, it could also just have been a shitty stick. Here, have another one.
I'll use my finger.
May I remind you about my shadow? That is literally not there.
Well,
I'll use my finger.
Samar can't see their reflection, so...
I will try to write my name using my finger.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You start to do so, and you get about half of the A done, and then you feel this piercing feeling.
Is my finger broken?
No, you pull it up, and there is a very large ant biting into the end of it.
Why'd you post that?
Oh God. Oh God.
All right, I'll
Oh,
take
God.
that down.
I will.
Maybe do.
Oh, I mean,
Thank
it said
you.
that it's special effects and it's not real, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I will pull the ant off. I will use a different stick, I guess.
as you go to get another stick, you see this little. You start to go down and continue at the A, and you can see the dirt kind of like almost vibrating as the letters you had already written disappear.
Can Frey try to write Samar's name? Frey will try to write Samar's name
With what?
with the other half of the broken stick.
You lean down, you start drawing an S in the dirt, and you start to like feel almost something like tingling on your hand, and the stick starts to fall apart in your grip, and termites begin to explode out of it and start crawling up your hand.
Frey yells, jumping back, and oh God, get them off, get them off, get them off.
I will assist Frey in brushing the termites off.
Garrett is trying to hide a snicker.
Candy?
No, not that kind of snicker.
Okay.
He's just trying to like not.
All right, Garrett.
Well, the name is, I suppose, inconvenient, but fine. I mean, maybe it's useful since there are people who might be after me.
Can't sign any contracts.
You could always start using a new one.
Yeah.
What about other people named Samar?
I don't know. Do you know any?
I'd assume it would not affect them. Though I'm also not a maid. But it seemed pretty personal.
Hmm.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine another person
Tell me
named
about
Samar and try to write their name?
I mean,
I
I don't.
Can't say I've met one.
Oh, I guess you won't do it. That's fine. I'll do it. Can I imagine a fictional person named Samar and try to write their name?
You're making up a new person named Samar.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like this has
Well,
to
but
be
Samar
some
is
kind of
fictional.
mental gymnastics to actually convince yourself.
You like say this and like three of us just like you hear gears grinding.
The
write a
brain
book.
hamsters are working overtime right now.
This is a 12-year-old girl who is lives in Fortunisol and likes to jump rope.
What's the color of her hair?
She's blonde.
Pigtails?
She has red hair and
No,
pigtails, and her dad runs a burger stand.
Sure.
What are you referencing?
I guess we've invented burgers.
Fucking Wendy's.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you start to write it and no problem.
Okay. I guess I can't sign contracts. I just have to do some
You have to take
mental
like
gymnastics.
2 minutes to like get in the mindset to write it. God.
Well, this is funny. This is I mean, it's not funny, but it is
That was wildly
humorous.
funny, dude.
Interesting. Well, I
what
guess
else
the name
was
thing
there?
is fine. The reflection is going to ruin my life. But I guess I'll process that on my own time.
Doctor, ruin your life?
Yes. I stand by it.
Do you want to clarify on that?
No, I said what I said. Frey, if you couldn't see your reflection, how would you feel?
I would feel lost.
Correct.
I mean, how would I be able to function? How would I know if there was? What if there was something wrong with my makeup, my face? I mean, and what if nobody told me? I wouldn't be able to check for myself.
Lamar
Lawrence,
gestures silently at Frey.
Lawrence takes off the glasses to rub the bridge of his nose before putting them back.
Don't worry, Samar. I'll tell you if you got a piece of emergency ration stuck in your teeth.
I mean,
Miss
you can
Tyrell,
still
what about
see
you?
Other things, at least. I mean, you're not blind.
True.
Things could be worse. That's very true.
I
could be-
guess things could always be worse. So maybe
Consider
that's not
doctor.
that's not
could be-
much of a comfort.
Consider doctor. You could be missing a piece of your finger.
I think you very briefly see an expression in Samar's face that is like, I think I'm gonna kill him. I think I'm gonna kill him right now, actually.
It's kind of a bastard sometimes.
Anyway, Miss Tyrell, what have you? What was it? A promise you were asked for?
How self-aware am I of my deal?
You understand what you've done. Like, it's a feeling of apathy towards the promise. Like, you understand that you made a promise, you just don't care about breaking it at all.
So I'm trying to figure out how I would roleplay that, I guess. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
apathy
you
mirror is a
think she
rough
would-
one.
she
You really
would-
won the fucking thing there, huh?
I can have Lawrence mention something else if you need a moment.
Sure. Well, I mean, hold on. Would she, like... You said that she just is apathetic towards it? Does she know that that's strange, or Again, this is a self-awareness question.
Yeah, there is self-awareness to it.
Well, I mean, I think the last promise I made was to
The mage we met, right? About his sister?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. That was not the one that I was thinking of when we did the session.
Well, the other promise I think you made was
It could be,
Lawrence back
semantics
safely.
things of it was a promise you specifically made.
I
rather than
think
a
what
group thing.
happened during the session is that I think Robert
Yeah, I
asked
mean,
the first promise that came to Mira's mind.
Yeah, that's the way I handled it when you couldn't
Yeah,
remember this
and that
so.
one was the one about, keeping Larry safe, so...
Right, but Lawrence is asking about this because it came up earlier.
I mean, I guess that was the last one, but the one that I thought of was when I was looking in my notes to find his last name because I don't think Mira would refer to him as Gary. Okay. The thing that I thought of was when I told Mr. Garvin that I would keep you safe. I don't...
Does that mean I should be watching you for putting things in my food, or?
I mean, I don't think I'm gonna do anything to you. I just sort of feel like... She looks kind of confused, like...
Well, I am glad to hear that you don't intend to do anything to
I
me.
feel like...
I think it would hurt very badly if you were to punch me in the chest.
No, I'm not gonna hurt you. I wouldn't do that. I just...
A true relief.
I feel... When I think about it, it feels like I don't really care. And again, she looks really confused and a little alarmed and upset because this is obviously a very not Mira thought.
Miss Tyrell, if I may recommend, don't think about it too much. It's not going to help any of us.
I mean, if someone tried to stab you and I didn't stop them, that's... Or I wouldn't stop them, that's not good.
But you would stop them because, you would stop them not because of the promise, but just because you would stop them, I would assume.
Do I feel like I would?
I will quick turn and try to punch Lawrence without notice. Not hard, but I'm a good solid slug.
Strength punch.
Do I feel like I would, Robert? Or do I feel like, nah, I don't care about that?
You don't care.
You don't hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a 6. You go to swing, but you're kind of trying to sucker punch. You're not really prepared. It's more proving a point, but Mira does not react as she normally would, not jumping into it or anything.
She just sort of blinks and
So she doesn't even react oh my gosh, why would you try to punch him?
Doesn't even flinch.
Larry would I don't know, he dodges or whatever, and it just says, Mr. Viacord, if we're going to be brawling, why don't we wait till we're a few drinks deep back in Fortuna's Soul?
I apologize. I thought Mira would at least freak out a little bit. Well, looks like you're on your own there. That's not so much on your own, but
Well, how do we know if that was just because of Lawrence, just because Mira doesn't care? I think you have to punch someone else to compare. Punch me.
Well, I can't do it now because now it'll be obvious.
You gotta wait.
How about we don't punch anybody?
Oh, maybe punch yourself.
Oh, so you're not interested? Her brain is different.
I don't have a brain.
Your whatever passes for a brain is different. I don't know.
Brain enough, sure. Why not? I feel like a lot of you are going to simply stress yourselves if you dwell on these things.
I guess
There
you're
are-
I mean,
right.
I'm stressed just being out here right now. So,
I mean, if you need that cure sooner, I can help you.
yeah, sure. What do you've got? What do you have?
Lawrence will bring out his bag, the one that he shared with
What do you
with,
buy?
what was his name? Fucking Mira's boy. What's help me out
Magnus?
here? Magnus, yeah.
Magnus?
And he'll pull out some like a pipe, his own pipe, and hand it a packet and hand it to Garrett.
What's the dosing on this? How much do I take? Just like
Until you feel better.
all right, I will
If you overdose on this, I will be genuinely impressed.
I will proceed to smoke a bowl. Does this affect me in a way that does not that helps counteract this curse?
I mean, it helps you relax. Like, there's less overt stress.
But I still don't feel fully comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, it helps, relax you, but also,
Do I get
Garrett
the
will now be
paranoid?
wayfinding high, so.
Do I get paranoid from it?
What strain is it?
Yeah, you got the paranoia coming up from the fucking weed, and then you got the paranoia going down from the curse, which kind of leaves it about even. It's just a different paranoia. Oh. So yeah,
There you go. So he's microdosing. It's fine. Is that how that works? I don't know.
Well, I mean,
William
you just
doesn't
smoked the
know
whole
anything about
bowl in the pipe. and
drugs.
Of course
we'll
I
see
don't.
how it goes.
Right. So on the to-do list today is visiting the sister. He doesn't do it, but there's air quotes there.
And maybe seeing if we can find out something of the history of this area.
There may
Yeah.
be something within the keep on that regard, but I'm not certain if I want to risk that. If we do, maybe we should look for more iron implements.
Well, I guess we start packing up camp then. Unless someone else had anything to say.
No.
Nope.
Where to, gang?
I think we're heading to the village.
Yeah.
Oh, hi ho. Back to the village you go. Spending the next couple of hours carefully, hour or so, hour and a half, retracing your steps, staying near the banks of the river, and occasionally going inland. You make your way back to the abandoned remnants of the village that I keep almost saying the name of, but I still can't remember if I told it to you guys or not, so I've been avoiding it.
I don't think you did.
I
don't
think so.
remember.
I think I
Accidentally
have my notes. Let
said
me
it.
double check.
And then you were like, "Oh, I wasn't supposed to tell you that." But
Okay, so yeah, I'm not supposed to be mentioning it. All right, so yeah,
Nope, don't have my notes.
well, I guess we're gonna go find the sister.
you head
All
back.
right. So how will we handle this? Send Miss Tyrell in and provide her backup. Generally,
Yeah.
Sure.
I think keeping firearm use to a minimum would be ideal, given the sleeping beast not too far away. could prepare something more sedative for this.
That might be good.
Or the sister or the
The sister.
creature? Oh. I mean, let me double check in my notes, but I'm pretty sure there was like yelling at the basement that we went to.
Yes.
There's fun noises.
Noises and banging and stuff, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can't really compare that to a gunshot in terms of noise. Robert?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, it was definitely not nearly as loud. Flintlocks were about as loud as a shotgun.
So pretty loud.
Yeah. Though apparently less loud than modern rifles. But yeah. Yeah, comparable to like those big firecrackers or like an old-timey like shotgun. At least that's what Google is telling me. So yeah.
Well, so don't shoot guns.
And there are plenty of mountains for the sounds to echo off of if you do shoot them.
Tee-hee. Right, can I do two of my poisons as sedatives?
That's fine.
Very cool. Lawrence will hand one to Garrett.
I
So-
have a vial of your poison, so I will have to make sure I label this
Oh, no,
appropriately.
That only lasts for about a day. It's not good anymore. It had an expiration
Oh.
date on it.
Okay. Well, what I can do is, out of character, I can just edit the item
There you
and
go.
call it a vial of sleepiness or something. I don't
Larry's scary sedative.
know. Yeah.
For righteous purposes.
Yeah.
For not
What is?
doing
Does it have a
anything
modifier or
bad with-
anything?
What was that?
Does it have like a modifier?
That you just need to hit the attack and they make a save.
Okay. Oh, I just called it sedative Larry's blend. Because what I had was vial of poison Larry's blend, and then I did 2d6 plus 5 damage added. So I was just gonna add it.
Still
to the
does
name.
that.
So it still does the 2d6 plus 5 damage.
It's not lethal.
Okay. NL damage. Okay. There we go. So now it's a sedative Larry's blend, 2d6 plus 5 non-lethal damage. All right, perfect. No, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. No,
So
no, we're good.
Okay.
That was in
Stiff.
character.
It was?
Yeah.
Right. So the idea here is that what we can do is stand at the top of the trapdoor, prepare the poison on a bolt and an arrow, open it, and fire at whatever comes at us. Maybe avoid any vitals, but ultimately we do have trained medics.
Okay.
All right.
Now, from a mechanical perspective, this isn't going to be like one of those situations where, like, you have enemies and player characters who have buffed stats compared to normal people, and if we shoot a normal person, it kills them a lot easier.
I think
Right.
that is often the case.
Okay.
Like, what does a normal person have, Robert? A D6, you said?
A D6 or a D8, depending on if I would consider them a commoner or a, a adventure fighting monster category.
All right. Well,
I mean, if we
let's hope
don't
the sister
wanna
is
shoot
not a commoner.
someone, if we don't want to shoot her, then I could knock her out and we could scratch her with it or something. She looks skeptical.
I mean, that is an option that would put you in more danger.
She shrugs. I mean, I guess we don't know much about her, but I don't think I'm very much in danger from the average person.
Well, let us hope then that she is about the average person.
Let's go!
All right.
Shall we prepare the ranged options just in case, Miss Tyrell, or do you want to simply just...
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with just in case.
I can always make more. We go to the place, Robert.
All right. Wasn't sure if there was anything else there. All right, so you guys make your way to the abandoned, semi-destroyed, once extant home with the strange barred trapdoor. That is strange dash barred, as in the cover does not fit the way that the bar is put across it. Obviously much more recent than everything else here, as I described previously.
Lawrence will be ready with his crossbow.
Yeah, I will douse Larry's sedative blend on a arrow and get ready to shoot whatever comes out.
And Frey will stay back and out of the way.
It shouldn't be relevant, but I would wear gloves if you're not already, Mr. Viacourt.
Fair enough. I guess I can throw on a pair of gloves. I'm assuming I would have packed a pair of winter gloves that I could use while also using my bow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get ready for that. Do we still hear noises coming from the basement?
Immediately, no, but like, are you guys like making noise and stuff, or?
Should we knock first, like before? Or should we give Mira the drop on it?
Yeah.
Her.
I probably should give Mira the drop, but my thought process was just, we don't know how long it's been since Adrian was last here to feed or give his sister water, so admittedly we don't even know if that is needed anymore, because apparently Frey doesn't need a heart, so who knows.
Grim thoughts, but not far from my own, frankly.
I said it was barred, right?
Yes. Unevenly.
So, can I just like break them, or are we gonna have to?
Yeah. Give me
something?
a strength athletics.
Hang
You
on,
can try
can we just
and-
remove the bar?
There's no athletics in this game,
Or
Robert.
do
strength.
it.
What the fuck's it called?
Wow, kill him.
Strength. What the
Guards,
fuck's it called?
seize him.
Listen, I haven't looked at a sheet. I take 1 week off and my brain goes to fucking mush. Strength exert. Sorry.
Wait,
Can we have to break
can
them?
we just
Can we, hang on.
remove the
Can we
bar?
have to break them?
Yeah. You could like. You want to just like unhinge
Let
the
it
bar
out.
from where it's set up, from where it's like set in.
That'd be preferable, I think.
Yeah, so we could always lock her back in if we need.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I mean, sure.
All right. You kind of like shimmy. It's a little stuck. Like it's not like rusted or anything, but it's just very dirty, and it's obvious it's been through the elements for at least a little while, like weeks at least. And you have to shake it a bit, and as you do, you start to hear ruffling and banging coming from below. Before finally it kind of slides with this metal on metal screeching sound as you get it out.
Well, so much for surprise.
Well, let's get ready, Mr. Viewcourt.
Yep, I am ready.
We're trained on the door, Robert, to release when necessary.
Frey and me are very far away.
Are they cheering?
Get him!
Moral support.
All right. You're waiting for the door to bang, the trapdoor to bang open, or?
I mean, I'll go in, unless we do want to do that for some reason.
Yeah. We're letting Mir go, and then we're gonna close the door behind it to get a cage match.
Okay, so Garrett and Lawrence have their weapons pointed at the trapdoor.
I think, if possible, we're on either side of it.
Okay.
Whereas
Yep.
Mira is,
Yeah,
in front.
yeah. So she can pop it open, and then you guys can shoot. That's the plan.
No. We're ready to shoot if we need to.
Okay.
Mira's just gonna jump in and go ham.
Okay. All right.
Maybe
Mira,
even-
you.
If possible, maybe even like Lawrence and Garrett are opening the door so she can just get right in
okay,
there.
I see. I see.
Sound good to you guys?
Yeah, that sounds fine with me.
Say it again?
Lawrence and Garrett are grabbing the trapdoor to open it so Mira can just
Oh,
go
yeah.
and jump in.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right.
Fist the Kimbo.
So Mira, you are jumping down there, or
Sure.
are you climbing down the ladder?
I mean, if it looks really far, then I will not jump.
It does not seem incredibly far. It's no more than like 6 to 8 feet total.
There's no light, right?
There's just the light of the sun where you can see down.
Well, I
And you
need
see
that,
something
so-
like waiting in the darkness. Like you can see the reflection off of eyes.
I mean, I can see.
Oh, yeah, you can. I'm sorry. In that case, so Mira, you see what looks like a woman, very matted hair, tattered clothes. Go ahead and pull up my notes here. All right. So tattered clothes, matted hair. You can see there is. Actually, everyone will be able to see when you open the trap door. There is blood and scratch marks all over it, all over the inside of it,
Awesome.
along with the top couple of stairs.
Fun.
Oh, stairs, not a ladder?
It's one of those awkward, like really tall, like stairs that are a ladder. You know what I mean?
Kinda.
Like,
Yes?
like attic stairs,
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
like this kind of thing.
Because
like, it's-
Not stairs at all! We don't have to argue about stair semantics.
Yeah.
if there's a moment before like the action, Larry would probably ask for one of the one of the moral supporters to bring a light over so we could see better.
I will do that.
All right. And as you guys are, Mira, you see she's like crouched in the corner behind a knocked over table, seemingly ready to pounce on whatever's going to come in there. You could see a giant gash on her forehead where there's just like a bit of skin flapping. It goes
Nice.
up like vertically through her hairline and towards the crown of her head.
Well, I mean, who knows how lucid this chick is, but, are you okay? We're here to rescue you. Just, see what she does.
In almost an instant, she starts trying to charge up the ladder. Are you down the ladder, hopping down, or are you calling this from up top?
I mean, I was gonna call.
Okay, yeah. She starts charging towards you at a breakneck speed, slipping on each of the rungs as she goes, like almost kicking them violently as she's trying to climb up it. The rest of you finally getting a chance to, well, the two of you with weapons trained getting a chance to now see as she's charging directly at Mira.
Does she seem aggressive?
She is
or,
aggressively climbing up, yes.
I mean, no, but like, angry expression, I'm gonna kill you, or like, what is her expression?
Fear? Wanting to be out of there? Like, there's no immediate expression. A wounded animal trying to escape a captor is the general body language, I would say.
Don't do anything yet. Just back up.
Lawrence does not think this is a great decision, but Mira's the one in front of the thing, so.
Garrett gets ready to take the shot, even regardless of what Mira says.
I mean,
if he thinks it's best, he's going to take the shot.
All right, Mira, so she's charging up towards you where you are at the top of the ladder.
Sure, I will step back, and if she does something aggressive, I will try to grab her hands.
She gets to the top and runs right past you.
I take the shot.
In that case, I will try to, grab her.
Okay, you're trying to grab her, and Garrett's also got to be taking the shot.
Yep.
So
if he's not going to take it alone. We'll second that.
All right.
You guys are going to kill this lady.
Strength punch,
She's
Mira.
probably dead.
Strength punch to grab her.
She's already dead. You guys suck.
She was dead the moment she didn't respond.
You grab her, and she immediately just like slips to the ground. You can see splinters and broken pieces of wood sticking out of the bottoms of the soles of her feet.
Robert, tell me. This is definitely a drowned, but not quite, right?
What are you talking about?
I mean, it's not. It's objectively not. It's something. Like, she's not responding. She just kind of quietly was waiting and then tried to dart out. Mira is tackling her and kind of like bringing her to the ground where she slips immediately, and you guys are taking your shots.
I mean, if Mira has her, then...
Okay.
Is Garrett still taking the shot, though?
I guess not if Mira has her.
All right.
I'm still keeping it like aimed just in case she breaks away.
She is trying with everything, but she cannot. Like, you can see where she's like trying to push herself further away, but like Mira's just got too good of a grip on her. The splinters and broken wood digging further into her feet. She doesn't seem to care.
Mira just sort of like tried to like soothe her. It's okay. It's okay. We're here. Or not. We're friends. We're here to help you. Summer, could you maybe heal her?
Yeah, absolutely. I will do that. There it is.
While they're doing that, Lawrence, how much of a cut would this stuff take to send someone off to Night Land?
Depends on how... a lot of things. Depends on a lot of things, but get in their blood, really.
Okay.
Mira, I am going to need a charisma convince from you because Samar's healing only works on allies.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Two people holding weapons and Mira having to tackle her. That is not... Sorry, Samara, your magic is not working. She is rolling and just like... like gritting her teeth, and you can see some of them are kind of like starting to fall out almost. Like her hair is just a matted, disgusting mess. She's got scars like fresh and more wounds all over her, and she's just like trying to roll away from Mira.
Would I be able to lightly slash her arm with, like, take the arrow that has the night juice on it and just kind of lightly slash her arm with it instead of trying to shoot her with it, just to like
use
get
it like a
the-
needle, just like stab her in the arm so that.
Good jab.
Yeah, give her the jab. Give her the
Okay.
juice.
Yeah, I would allow
Make
that.
double.
Are we? Do you want me to roll for like stab, or do you want me to just?
I'm
or
gonna
do you
say
wanna-
if Mira is willing to like help essentially hold her down, like she's too weak to fight back, so Mira's willing to like hold her down. You guys can just do the stab.
Mira
Yeah,
does not look happy about it, but I guess.
Miss Tyrell will need
she's
to
gonna keep fighting us.
stop her to help her. Hold her steady.
Fine.
Jab, jab.
All right. Roll damage just for poison.
That is 2d6 plus 5 twice.
Each of
Yeah,
you.
do you want to just roll that?
You can roll the other one, Dave.
Okay.
And it is a physical save, Robert, for half. It's so much. It's so much.
Even having like she immediately just like stops moving and just starts kind of twitching, and then eventually that stops.
Is she breathing?
Vaguely,
I'll quick-
vaguely, and like you can
Okay.
still see like her eye, like one eye moving around, the other one kind of like going numb. It seems like.
Can I try to heal her now without waking her up?
It does
She's
say
not
it
asleep.
still does say ally, and she's
Yeah.
not asleep. She's paralyzed.
Wait. You said this was sleep. Wait, they're paralyzed? I thought this was
I'm sorry.
sleepy juice.
What did I say before? It was.
But I made the joke of what did I say? Lethal Larry's sleepy super sleep. I don't remember if you said paralytic or
Yeah.
not. I thought you said paralytic. Or
I
something.
said.
Sedative.
I said sedative.
Okay.
Which I guess is sleep.
Okay. She seems to be weakening then. Yeah. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I also forgot, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I will mention that Larry is watching the effects very closely.
And she's still like, as she's like losing it, she's still like with her left arm. That's kind of like Mira's got her like tackled, but like her left arm where you guys stabbed her, she's still like trying to like pull herself and just failing as her grip keeps getting weaker and weaker in the on the floor before finally like one last time she kind of digs her nails into the like the floorboards and starts trying to scrape, gets about half inch and then stops.
Mira is like apologizing profusely.
Larry pulls out another vial from his bag and holds it.
Is she okay?
Do you mean after what we did or before? Because I think the answer is no.
Frey is just quiet.
Well, she's out now, so what's
We
the
do
plan?
like first aid at least.
Sure. I'll try to patch her up and stuff.
It seems like the biggest wound is the massive laceration on her head.
Yeah.
Um,
Give her stitches, maybe.
all right, yeah. Give me a
Try to
give me a
disinfect it and stuff.
dex or int medicine. I think it's dex or
Heal?
int.
I'll do int. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, int
Lawrence-
heal. Yeah.
Just want to establish that Lawrence is still holding the vial and still watching closely.
You spend a few minutes doing what you can to at least, field stitch her. Like, it's not your best work, but for being out here, it's damn good. Seems like she's got to be out for a while still. Otherwise, the biggest thing you notice, Samar, she is thin. Like, fucking, like, skin and bones.
Huh.
Like,
Okay.
you probably would have first noticed it when Mira tackled her, but like, Mira is not a large person. Mira fucking crushed her with that body check as she brought her down.
Can I tell if like maybe this is an unanswerable question, but like can I tell if it looks like she's wasting away in the sense of like malnutrition, or if it's a sense of like like a supernatural thing. Like, is this like a drowned thing that like it looks like she's decaying, or does it just look like she hasn't eaten in days?
It looks like she hasn't eaten in a long time, or really, like, I mean, pale, like, you have to even get all the dirt and stuff off just to be able to see her actual complexion, but I mean, like, pale, like, not a lot of blood in the face, nothing like that, like, everything about her messed up.
Yeah.
Wait,
Is there any mechanism by which we could give her like an like IV nutrition?
No.
We can make a lovely broth.
Fucking, you do have your mind light. I did forget
Yes.
about that. You do have to mention that. Like, I'm not going to remember to, so...
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sorry. I guess we like knew that she was human and stuff. That was the main thing.
Okay. Well, it does
last
say
game.
living mind, so it's not pinging on her.
Oh,
Hee-hee. Called it.
fun. Okay. Well, as I patch her up, I will look up at Larry and say, she's not alive.
Lawrence will pause a moment, nod, look to Mira.
In what way?
I don't know. She's just not alive. I don't think she's just died. I think she's not alive. It's not whatever we did to her.
I would say heal 12.
Mm-hmm.
She probably starved in that basement, and something has kept her going.
Huh.
Like, that would probably be the best you could draw from it.
Yeah. I think she's starved. Or, to be more accurate, I think she starved. And now whatever is left is not living. I think something's taken over to keep her going.
Umbral, most likely. A shame. I suppose we won't be needing this. And you'll put that extra vial away.
So what are we going to do?
Well, we do the responsible thing. We respectfully stop whatever this was from controlling her. Give her a farewell. Until, if we encounter her brother again, tell him that, maybe the hombre got to her. Be non-specific, I think, is best.
We don't even know where he went. Where did they come from for Tootie Soul?
That's why I said if we see him.
I don't remember if he said. He might have.
I don't know. I don't think that he ever mentioned where he came from.
Right, so if anyone is squeamish, I'd recommend not following. Will someone help me move her outside?
Robert, one question. Does it look like... So we were like in the cave for a few days, going like in and out with Adrian and stuff. Yeah. Does it look like she starved in the time that we were probably down there?
No. This was like... No, this was well over a week ago, probably.
Okay, so she would have starved. She was starved before.
Yeah. Obviously, your medical expertise can only go so far when something is magically keeping her...
Yeah, absolutely.
In some facsimile of alive.
Yeah.
But,
sure.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, it's not like the malnutrition that would have happened in like the 2 or 3 days that Adrian was with us necessarily. Okay, that's good to know.
I'm going to do this.
She's witch finding?
going on a witch hunt.
One day, Alex has got to rename that, and we will all rejoice.
I'll cry.
I was gonna say William wouldn't be able to make his joke anymore.
I know, Alex. That's the benefit to you finally
I'd be
renaming it.
So saddened.
No,
William,
but he would be sad.
You doing that has like infected my speech patterns in real, or not my speech patterns, but like in my head. Now, whenever I hear like somebody doing an ing verb in my head, it's just like she's capitulating.
Did you hear that, Robert?
That's
Alex?
pretty funny. That is pretty
So
funny.
stupid.
I'm influential.
Anyway,
Not sure that's the word I'd use, but sure.
That's what I'm using.
he's
Anyway.
influencing.
I'm influencing.
Anyway,
Jesus.
so there is arcane energy emitting from her. I would say it is a like dark, wispy aura that seems to be pulling towards the lake.
Well, I guess I can't really identify exactly what's going on, but something is pulling energy towards the lake. And she kind of frowns. And then just because, we can't really do it. I mean, it seems like we have decided, so she's just gonna kind of get up and walk away.
Does anyone help Larry take her outside?
Frey is not going to. He
I'll
just
help.
kind
Carry her.
Maybe we should just let her go to the lake. If that's what she wants. I don't know. I mean,
that's not
Doctor,
what
you
she
said
wants.
she was dead. She's not wanting
Yeah.
anything anymore.
sure.
The most respectful thing we can do is see her off and prevent her remains from being used like this.
Okay, fair enough.
What's most common in the area? Burial or pyres, Robert?
It
Toss up or?
kind of. I mean, it's religious differences at that point.
What would be easiest? We don't have a shovel.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's your answer.
Could the rest of you gather some wood?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lawrence is going to do as Strieg did with those first rounders and make sure she's not able to, her body's not able to be used further
Oh,
before we.
so are we like killing her
Well, that's the first step.
permanently
If
then?
that's even
Okay.
possible. But then
Yes.
also,
I mean,
do you want me to
you cut
specify? It's
something's
pretty
head
grim.
off. You cut something's head off, it usually doesn't come back up at you.
And magic doesn't really play by those usual rules, does it? Aren't there stories of like headless horsemen and such?
No idea.
Robert?
oh, that sounded like it was in character.
It was in character.
Oh, well.
I assume that was generic enough to
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I would say anytime it's like too anachronistic or something, I'll throw a flag out.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So, what is Larry doing to the poor body?
You want me to spell it out?
Yeah.
Destroying the joints
Okay.
with a knife.
Head first.
Head first.
Okay.
Well, I guess throat, but
Yeah.
Yeah, Frey is not going to watch that.
I'm going to
Well,
get some firewood.
I mean, I guess I am too.
and
Garrett hanging
I,
around.
Yeah, I'll go comb the town, see if we can find anything.
By yourself?
Well, how
yeah.
far out are we going to find wood?
I mean, it's
The
probably
woods, I
like
assume.
old furniture and shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I'll stay nearby-ish, but like, I will step away a little bit from everyone.
I think Larry will ask Garrett a couple of questions if he's willing to speak during
Well,
this.
hold
Yeah,
on.
certainly. What's going
Hold on,
on?
Ronnie was gonna say something like 3
Oh.
times now.
Go ahead.
Frey is also, while this is happening, he is going to wander around the village a bit and just kind of, touch things just to see if he can, like, pick up anything with his emotional resonance. Walls,
Phrasing on that.
furniture.
You get these vague feelings of, excitement at a family, meeting someone, like just these faint, ancient feelings far beyond, like, Frey's never been around ruins before or things this old. Like, it's like you still feel them, but it's like listening to something further down a hallway. Like, it just takes longer for you to like focus in on it and understand the feelings, but they're still there, and it's the same sorts of emotions and feelings that you would expect from any town or village or even a house you've ever been in, just further away.
Okay.
Unless there's something specific you're looking for to try and resonate with.
He is looking specifically for like any sense of fear, hysteria, like, signs that like something bad happened here.
Give me an int notice. See if anything sticks out as particularly destructive or violent that would draw your eye while you're wandering the town. Or at least the nearby portions of it.
7.
There's no fear. I mean, there's... eventually you find an abandoned... It looks like... At first you can't really tell, and you're like, oh, it's fabric, and you think maybe it's like part of a cloak or something. It turns out to be old, decrepit fabric from what seems to be nice-ish chair that fell apart a long time ago. There's fear, but it's fear of... Seems like fear of rejection more than anything else.
Okay.
But generally speaking, it's the same sorts of things that you'd find anywhere else. As you finish that, though, we are going to go ahead and take one more quick break for the night. I apologize. I was hoping to run all the way through, but hey, it happens sometimes. Yes, Frey was,
He was
wandering
touching
around
all
the
the
area, touching things, and you guys,
The fabric thing?
Garrett and Lawrence were going to gather some wood.
Yep. And Lawrence was going to ask some questions, and Frey was going to commune with some spirits, I believe.
Touch things.
Touch things, yeah.
But he didn't find what he was looking for.
He did not. So, yeah, whatever you guys are doing, go ahead.
All right. So while Lawrence is doing the deed, taking care of the body, he'll kind of ask Viacourt, what did you and your fellow guardsmen do during the Black Sun with those who you lost?
That is a good question. Robert, what would we have done with the people that we lost during the Black Sun? I'm assuming either some form of pyre or burial.
I mean, a lot of people were lost. Pyres were pretty much the only option for grieving. But, like, also, a lot of people are lost where you just didn't, you never found the bodies. But probably the worst of it was after the Black Sun, finding, like, dead and decaying bodies and then needing to pile them up and burn them.
Okay. So, depends how we lost them. If we were out on patrol, a lot of the times they either just disappeared or were just eviscerated, or there wasn't a lot left. But but if we found the bodies, typically it was mass pyres. Minimum 3-4 at a time. I mean, you saw it. There unfortunately were a lot of casualties.
There he nods. I mean, then he realized that Garrett's probably looking the other way and just says, yeah, I get that. About the same, from what I recall. I was trying to think of what would the best way to handle this, but, well, I didn't bring a shovel, did you?
I did not.
Let's say, once everything is done here, we go our separate ways after everything's said and done. You back to your wife and live out a long and happy life. Once you pass, how would you want to be handled?
Well, first of all, I have no idea what's going to happen with my body because I don't even have a last breath anymore. So who knows? I might not even actually be able to die. But given that I can, if we assume that I will die, probably Viv would want to bury me with the rest of the Viacourt family. There's, Artavishte specifically was relatively minorly hit during the Black Sun due to the wall. So there's still, the ancestral graveyards and all that.
I see. Is that what
that
what
being
you want?
said, if something happens to me out here in the field, I would say if you can, a pyre. If not, leave me. I don't want you or anyone else putting yourselves in extra danger just to dispose of a body. Maybe remember where I fell so that maybe you can come back, but
I see. You mentioned before that you believe in inspection as a means of standards to live by or ideals, right?
yeah.
Does that influence how you see passing?
No. Kind of more follow the motions. I grew up in a backwater dirt farming, town where obviously, we learned inspection and we went to the there's a little church that you would go to in town and you would go to service and all that, but it was really kind of performative for the most part. Let me pull up out of character. Let me just pull up the book here on inspection real quick because I can't remember the saints' names. Towards darkness, deliverance, justice, love, light, conquest, and okay. So I mean, there was a bit that we paid attention to, obviously, but they did the ceremony and all that with the dig, Saint of Deliverance, for when someone passes. A little bit with regards to there's usual planting and all that, but it was never really a lot. It was really just like, hey, learn how not to be a jerk, I guess. So prior to the Black Sun and everything, if you had asked me what happens when you die, I would have said that, that's it.
Sounds like things were pretty easy going, at least back then.
Well, yeah, as I'm sure they were for a lot of us.
Unless Garrett has anything specific to respond or ask, Lawrence will probably just make more small talk to distract himself from the gruesome task.
Not specifically, no, but I do. I'm glad you brought it up with everyone, because if you hadn't, I was going to. I didn't think, once Samar took a look and realized they were dead from starvation, I didn't think there was any way we could do anything about this short of killing them anyways. So you know what, at least they're asleep right now when we do it. Thought process is just quick, sever the head and then throw it all on a pyre and burn it.
Yeah, asleep.
Hope we never come across Adrian again, but how are you feeling here, learning that this is all Wallace's fault? I know that you were a little angry earlier, which is very, maybe not out of character, but you certainly don't show it.
Lawrence laughs at that being pointed out, that he was angry. Still considering options, weighing things.
I mean, if what Frey says is true and it is Wallace's fault, which, I mean, we're assuming that they said it from the book and that they actually read the book and the book is telling us the truth as well, then the only way to cure it is to take Wallace out into the middle of the ocean and kill him there. That doesn't... I'd like to think that you're a friend and that, I'll support you in helping to cure this, but I don't know if I'm ready to go that far. And he just kind of looks around and outside and shudders. Even with having smoked a bowl earlier, it's just a bit much being outside. And At this point, I just kind of want to go back home.
Lawrence probably. Go ahead.
There's just it's getting over our heads having to deal with this. None of us is a great wizard or mage or whatever, knights in shining armor and all that from back in the days of Einfaris before the Dark King and everything. And
Lawrence probably pauses what he's doing at being mentions of, I like to think we're friends. And,
I don't
would-
want to presume.
No, and then after he finishes, he was like, I wouldn't ask a friend to sail to their deaths, which is what that would be. Going into the ocean, the Ophirian like that, is death. There's no getting around that. You'd be better back with your wife, I'm sure.
Yeah. The thing is, if you'd met me,
Though,
say,
that said,
10 years ago, I still would have, even if you'd said I wouldn't let a friend sail to the death, I would have been out there, but times,
that said, I think I'm going to tell Mr. Farrak and the doctor that you think they're shitty wizards.
I wouldn't say that they're shitty.
Lawrence is having fun.
Just the tales of old and all that with mages who can shake the very foundations of the world. I mean, who can do that nowadays? Maybe all the Brights together could, but of course, how much of that was artistic license and exaggeration?
I'm sure there's plenty of, and there's also plenty of stories that are simple exaggerations or even complete falsehoods. But I think it does the heart well to believe some of it. To feel that there is still some fantastic things left in this world.
Oh, there's plenty of fantastic things. Did Frey or Strig tell you about the giant flesh tree we blew up? That was pretty fantastic. There's a swamp monster in the basement of this tree, pointing General in the direction there. That's pretty fantastic too.
That's certainly one way to put it. I don't got anything else left there, Dave.
No, that's fine.
Should we skip ahead to the burning, or?
Yeah. So, as you guys eventually get around to burning the body, the rest of you are able to get together, and you are still in this abandoned town.
So, order of business, I guess. There's a couple of missing party members, Strieg and Henrietta, and I suppose potentially some other questions. Samar will glance over at Garrett. And then I guess, do we want to try to figure those things out, or is our plan to leave? Those, and also the question of what's draining the life from the tree, I guess.
I have no desires to stay here any longer. but I will certainly not rush you all should you wish to search for your friend.
Yes, it doesn't feel right leaving with these things undone or not done.
I guess, do we have any other leads to search for them? And Frey, you mentioned maybe asking some spirit friends.
Yes, I could try reaching out and seeing if any other spirits linger here.
Yeah, I mean, if not that, then the only other things I can think of are the book and trying to talk to the shadow monster, so.
Well, again, we don't know that the shadow monster is the giant. You want to talk to the giant. That is not what I got snatched by whatever that was. That is not the same thing. We could see the giant at night and during the day. The shadow thing could not be seen. It made the night darker than dark.
Yeah, although
I
we
wouldn't
don't
call
know
it very
that.
surprising that there were other Umbrae here.
Yeah, although the shadow giant thing is in the ocean, which and also
Ocean?
seemed to the lake,
If you will.
yeah, which and it seemed to respond to my pointing or waving. So, I mean, you know, of course, not necessarily because it's intelligent or anything, but given that our friend seems to have walked into the ocean with our mule, I feel like that might be related, even if it's not related to what took Garrett.
Right.
But trying to talk to the spirits is maybe the first step. I feel like that's the most likely to be useful or succeed or whatever.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Right.
And yeah, Frey will step away to find a decent spot somewhere I guess within the village. And he'll start setting himself up for that ritual.
Is this while the fire is burning at the one thing? Oh, we had this conversation?
I imagine that at least, you know, Frey would have wanted to have like, you know, a moment of silence watching. I don't think we'd, you know, wait for the entire burning process because that would take a while.
Lawrence would have said something very quietly.
Yeah, I was thinking that Mira would, like, if they're there, Mira would like pick some flowers while she was gathering wood or whatever. Although I guess the gathering wood was like old furniture, but
Okay, no problem. Does anyone want to know the funny thing Lawrence said?
yes,
anyone have been listening?
William.
Would anyone have been listening?
I don't think Frey would have if he's like whispering it under his breath.
I think Smart probably would.
Okay, everyone knows. I'm not asking any rolls or stuff. I just want to know if anyone's listening. He would have said, Realmar ein Talmure.
I'm sorry. What could you do? Could you say that again in Parisian?
Would we know?
Lord's saying it really quietly. You asking him to repeat it?
That's certainly not in English. I'll tell you what.
No, I mean, are you asking out of character or any character, Dave?
No. That was. If he was saying it quietly, he wouldn't have asked him to repeat it. No.
Yeah, no, it was under his breath.
Yeah.
Like head nodded respectfully, you know.
Would Samara understand this? I assume no.
I think Samar would recognize it as Rayclarian.
Ah, okay. Would Rohan from beyond the grave understand it?
Yeah, easily.
Well, as the person who played Rohan, can you tell me?
No.
Damn.
Context dictates it might be a well wish for the departed.
I can't wait till one of the other characters dies. Just so y'all know what it feels like.
Jesus
What
Christ.
the fuck, bro?
Oh.
Just so y'all know what it feels like.
Anyway, so
I've lost characters before.
Yeah, but not in front of me. I want to see it.
He wants to watch.
anyway, so
I don't want any of these characters to die. I just want you guys to have characters who die. You know?
Wow.
I see how.
Wow.
You, just in front of you specifically.
Yeah.
He just likes to watch.
You guys got to see me have a character who died. It's very vulnerable. I feel like the power dynamic is all off now.
anyway,
Teehee.
so you guys, Frey, you are performing a ritual while everyone else is going to finish up with the funeral pyre. Is there anything else the rest of you are going to do while waiting on Frey?
No.
Check the house to see if there's anything worth taking.
Capitalist freak.
Adventure
Does it-
capitalist.
It's his alignment. Actually, his alignment's desperate capitalist these days.
All right, give me an int notice. Well, no, you know what? Give me a int trade. See if you see anything valuable.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Jesus! He's got the
Jeez.
fucking metal
Listen.
detector out.
Listen, it's Beckett's finds in fineries. This is the finds.
Over the course of the next hour or so, while everyone's kind of, I don't want to say relaxing, but not so much on edge and having a moment of proverbial downtime to kind of, for the first time in a while, do whatever they want within reason. You find a couple of things that actually seem nice to find. Very rusty, but otherwise iron hinges.
Ooh.
Looks like some old like cabinetry or something that collapsed. You have to do a little bit of digging, but it is without a doubt iron. There's a handle, a couple of hinges. They're not in working order, but it's still iron.
Mm-hmm. See, probably Lawrence comes by. Was it Garrett who had the hatchet to ask to borrow it for a bit?
Yeah, sure. You're trying to cut up the wood a bit more?
Oh, just a personal project. It was cut off, and then after a little bit, just hear the sound of like wood being chopped in the distance from this cabinet.
God. And you break them off and get them loosened. Anyone else?
Stay in like Frey's general vicinity for like moral support, you know, Maybe just also look around a little bit, see if there's... I don't know if this is the sort of town that would have books, but that could be interesting.
If there are any books that have survived, they would be inside of the good portion of the fort.
Okay, in that case, I'll just kind of hang out nearby Frey, I guess. Yeah, I could still look around. Just look for things that, like people things. By people things, I mean like, what kind of knickknacks are in this house? Like things that tell you about like kind of archaeology stuff, like that tells you something about like the people who lived here.
All right, so
like,
trying to do the more...
what they liked, what they cared about. Not for any specific reason other than just curiosity.
Yeah, give me a int notice. Let's see what Mira can find.
Nothing.
There's precious little when it comes to personables. I'm not going to say it's like the town was abandoned or anything. I mean, obviously, at one point it had to have been. That's how these things happen. But it wasn't like some catastrophic event and there was a refugee crisis from this town of, what, maybe 100, 150 people at its most populated. But there's just... It seems like anything you would expect to be valuable people took or has been pilfered, or... It's just been so long, it's turned into nothingness. I mean, 250 years.
I'm not looking for valuables, I'm looking for personality.
Yeah, unfortunately, like things like books, paintings, all it takes, 200 plus years in the elements kind of does a lot of destruction to it. Occasionally, you find a parchment where the ink has run completely empty and it's tattered and there's nothing readable on it. Just splotches that are mostly faded even, but there's nothing. It feels like a small village. It's old, it's abandoned, but small towns and villages haven't changed much since however old this is to current day.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, the only conclusion you can really draw is, in its heyday, this town has to be older than the fall of Iron Ferris because they made a lot of mundane things out of iron. And after Iron Ferris fell, iron became a very rare and expensive resource. So all you know is the town was initially very old. But unfortunately, there's just not a lot. You find, I'll give you this. You do find what you would gather might have been a nicer house at one point, but there's a broken trunk, and inside there are some rough carvings of a sign that says Marestis on it.
Does that mean anything to me?
No.
Could you spell it for me, please?
I did. I already did.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but now it doesn't seem to mean anything at all. At least from what you can tell. But yeah, I'd say there's probably 3 or 4 signs, each with it carved in different... The way it's spelled, everything, it's very... It's not modern. It's a very old kind of Parisian spelling of it. So, take of that what you will. But I digress.
I guess she will write it down in her journal and then just leave it.
Frey. Oh, I almost rolled my R there. A little bit. You eventually finish with your ritual, while everyone else kind of spends some time around the town. You know what to do?
Yeah. And there was no blood spilling this time. Mainly because he does not have a knife at the moment. Let's see.
Instead you guys left the good knife in the cave.
You have a needle, apparently.
Could you imagine how many times you would have to stab yourself with a needle to get your HP down that much?
That sounds like torture.
Genuinely.
Wait, hold on. Who has the sword? Do you have the sword?
Yeah, but he doesn't want to...
Lord's holding the sword. That's what you're asking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Frey does have a sword, though.
Oh,
that would make
did
him seem
Lord
insane.
take Frey's sword?
Did Lawrence take
the
Frey's
sword? The shadowy sword.
The shadow sword, yes.
Oh,
Lawrence has
that
it.
sword. Oh,
The retirement
right, yeah.
sword, I think, is what it's called.
Yeah.
Very specifically in his inventory.
After a little while, Frey, you focus, you finish, and about 5 minutes after the ritual is done, feel this almost creeping sensation, like there are eyes watching you.
Just that shiver down his spine as he looks around himself.
You see, on the corner of a nearby wall, I almost said building, but that wouldn't be quite accurate anymore, a head poking around, just enough to see the eyes. As you make eye contact, disappears.
And he's still in like he's not in like that otherworldly spirit realm right now.
Somewhere in between. It's
Okay.
strange. Like,
So
they're kind of layered on top of each other right now.
I imagine Frey rising to his feet, but his body stays there, sitting cross-legged. His hands on his knees, eyes closed, but Frey walks towards the spirit, towards that building.
You get close and the head sticks out, eyes go wide. You see the face of a child. Eyes go wide and disappears behind the building. You hear the sound of footsteps running. And then laughter.
Frey will jog to try and catch up.
Can Frey jog more if it's not his physical body?
Um,
We're getting off topic. I just thought it was something worth positing. Just throwing out into the ether.
I think yes. Because he does not have that physical weakness.
He doesn't have the physical weakness. In his dream body, he can just run. He can run forever.
He truly understands the weakness of the flesh.
Run forever, and his feet never get sore in those goddamn shoes. You run and are easily able to catch up, where you see a kid, maybe 7 or 8, short, messy hair, and the kid just kind of stares at you and cocks his head to the side and then begins laughing, and then like gets scared, puts his hand over his mouth and starts pointing at you and laughing again under his hand. Just
Does this sound like the same laughter as that other ghost who was laughing at me?
no.
Okay. Okay.
No, that's just me being
Just
unoriginal.
mean.
Okay. Okay. So Frey will step forward, a hand on his chest, the other one kind of reaching out.
You see
Hello.
you see, like, as you get closer, the eye is kind of sunken in, and the cheeks very, very concave. The lips dry and peeled back as the kid just... Hi.
You seem to be having fun out here. What game are you playing?
He just shakes his head violently, like, just no.
How is it a secret?
Kind of turns and then turns back to you. What do you want? What? You're gonna bother me?
Well, I want to... Do you know about the dark shadow that lives in the lake?
Kid gives a slow blink. Very slow blink. Shakes his head.
Oh, that's okay. But tell me, what's your name? My name is Frey.
You call me Charlie.
Hello, Charlie. It's nice to meet you. What are you doing out here?
He kind of leans in close. I'm hiding.
And Frey will lower his voice, almost like, they're sharing a secret. And what are you hiding from?
Oh, my mom says I gotta get back before sundown. Don't want people getting lost, but the trick's to hide out on the fishing boats, out on the docks. They never find me then.
You're very good at hiding, aren't you?
It's been a long time since anyone found me. How'd you do it?
I heard your laugh, and I followed it.
He seems confused at first, and then finally he just kind of like cocks his head to the side. Was I being that loud?
No, you weren't being loud at all. I just have very good ears, you see. Could almost call them magic.
He just opens his eyes wide and I gotta go. They gotta find me. And he starts running off.
Frey will... I think he's gonna, take a moment, standing up, looking around. Like, can he, just to see if, he can see what this kid is hiding from?
You don't... give me a wisdom notice. See if anything sticks out to you. There was nothing
7.
obvious, but, you spend a little more time and... No. There's nothing. Whatever this kid's going through, it seems like... every spirit you've seen is as they were when they died. So, it seems like reliving it in denial, can't say.
Okay. can he still try and chase after the kid, or has he lost him at this point?
You would have known which direction he turned down, but beyond that, no idea.
I think he will wander a little while just to see if he can find him again, or if anything else in this weird other realm catches his eye.
There's seemingly nothing else there. But you look for him for a little while and not completely obvious. Nothing.
All right, then I guess Frey will start making his way back to his body to come back to himself.
All right, you do so, and as you kind of wake up from your ritual, you just hear again. Just almost in your ear, but like when you look that way, there's nothing.
He just that shiver again as he looks around. Are you still here?
You'd have to find me. I'll be here till you do.
Could you give me a hint? It's not a good game if there are no clues.
I already did.
Well, what did he say about the fishing boats and the shore?
It was something about the boats.
Well, there's no more boats. They're all. There was like a boat.
Robert, what did he say?
He always hid on the fishing boats and at the docks.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe he's hiding at the dirt. There's a small body at the dock somewhere.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah, so I think Frey will take a stand, feeling a little lightheaded after everything, just a hand to his forehead as he looks around. Is it just Mira there?
Seems like it.
Depending on how long this took, it might be the sounds of some wood chopping in the distance.
Yeah, this took an hour, so.
I think it took an hour just to do the ritual, not
Yeah,
to mention
and then-
chasing a ghost kid around.
Yeah, maybe Lawrence is coming to find them. Find the bulk of the group.
Mira's just like sitting nearby, probably like catching up on journal writing or whatever.
Frey will go and just take a seat next to her.
Was it okay?
It was different from the last time. I saw a child this time.
That's better. Well, I mean, I guess that means that the child was dead, I guess, but I mean, I guess people die.
They do. But he didn't seem to know anything about the shadow.
Hmm.
Though he did say that he liked to hide around the fishing boats, the docks. Maybe there'll be something more there. I don't know.
Did we pass docks, Robert?
I mean, you've passed a few like pilings, but any docks seem like they are long destroyed.
I don't know how much we're going to be able to find anymore, but we could still look.
Well, it's the only thing I can think to do. I mean, if it's just dead end after dead end. I mean, I suppose there's always the book.
I was thinking that.
And I mean, I do feel fine, honestly. I mean, you'd think that if someone were to lose their mind, it would be a little obvious. I mean, maybe I wouldn't be able to tell since it would be my mind, but you all seem to be normal.
I don't think you seem any different. Maybe it is just that it's a little bit at a time.
Unsettling.
Well, I guess better that than something worse.
He'll look around a moment, and seeing Garrett is not here, kind of lowering his voice but we can't leave things as we can't leave without restoring Garrett, without finding what was.
We have to find Street too. We have to do both of those things.
Yes. The streak was taken by the thing in the lake.
I mean, we were near the lake when whatever happened to Garrett happened. I mean, we can't go into the lake. Not like that, right? I mean, I guess I could, but I don't know if that would help. I mean, you know, how big is the lake? Very fucking big.
Yeah, about 20 by 30 miles or so.
One mirror going into the lake is probably not gonna do anything unless, you know, they do it the magical way. I don't know. I guess we should ask what everyone else thinks.
Yoga Florence joins up at this point.
Yeah.
Sure. Lawrence walks up holding a rusty hinge attached to some rough chunks of wood. Well,
Ray looks up and... What are you going to do with that?
this here is genuine iron.
It doesn't look very impressive.
Certainly not, but in the right hands, this could become a formidable implement. Or, for me, a neat payday. And since this was found on the journey, it does go into the group payout, of course.
Well, I see that you've at least found something a bit more concrete than I have.
No, this is iron.
Shut Shut up!
Lord smiles, nearly laughing at his own fucking stupid pun. Or stupid joke.
Yeah, Frey chuckles as well. And the thing is, and I've totally lost track of what I was saying.
Well, I think the point was that we didn't really find anything, either of us. I mean, maybe what Frey found was a clue, but she kind of shrugs.
I spoke to a child who liked to hide near the fishing boats and the docks. I don't know what he was hiding from, though, but he treated it like a game, so...
I'm sorry, was a
But
child
I
here?
think
Well, a ghost.
a spirit,
Of course. Why not?
someone lost. I think he wants me to find him. Maybe there'll be something there.
How does one go about that?
Well, I don't know. Find his hiding spot near the fishing boats and the docks, wherever those might be. But, I mean, if they're out in the lake, if they sank,
Yes,
or maybe it's just on the shore. I don't
there's
know.
not really any docks left, is the problem.
Mostly just destroyed wood and some broken nets.
I mean, I suppose we could start by walking the shore. I mean, he was just a child, so he likely stayed in the area. He couldn't have wandered too far.
And to make sure I understand, this is for the sake of who? Mr. Strieg, Mr. Viacourt?
It is a hope that maybe it will lead us to some clue.
Lawrence feels bad for Frey and Mira in this moment.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
It seems like they're grasping onto a hope that does not seem very connected to the actual issues.
I mean, I guess.
He'll just nod and, well, if you need anything from me, you need but ask.
Thank you. I suppose I'll at least start walking the shore. Maybe something will come to mind. Or something will jump out, hopefully not physically.
Well, I'll go with you then.
Thank you. I appreciate the company.
We have been using the buddy system, right? Well, except for me, I did not have anyone with me for that. Do we know where the doctor and Viacourt are?
I haven't seen them since our discussion after the pyre.
I was here.
I think someone's
will.
probably around somewhere just chilling. Truly, they're probably just brainstorming how they can look at their reflection again without being able to have a reflection. They're just like sitting somewhere, like
Just
talking to themselves.
Hire someone to draw a picture of you every
That's not
day.
the same, Mira. Come on, you know this.
It's a Where's Waldo from the perspective of Mira and
Sitting on the
need to get my
shore,
hands
just
on that
staring at your
periscope
lack of
mirror.
reflection.
I need to get my hands on that periscope mirror. That's like maybe the only way that might work.
Yeah. Hold on.
Anyway.
Garrett's gonna be like a house or two over, but not too far away. So.
Could maybe hear him walking around or something.
Yeah, he's just kind of shuffling around and moping, I guess.
Yeah. I'd probably have gone somewhere close to wherever Garrett is.
Oh, I believe I hear Mr. Vicorp moping in the distance. I'll go check on him.
You can't say that.
Well, Larry will leave y'all to it.
Well, I guess we go walk along the beach then.
Alrighty. So, as you guys begin to investigate, try and figure out what phrase spirit might mean, try and wrap up what the fuck else you can even do here before hopefully getting back in the next couple of weeks and not angering the good captain any further. As the morning starts to turn to afternoon, as your time here in the now, finally, I can canonically call it, town of Marestis.
Oh, I mean, I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Yeah, it was the
of what?
It was the mayor's or the headman of the town's house where he kept trying to design a sign for the town. He had a bunch of failed prototypes. But I digress. As you clean up and say goodbye with the last few things to wrap up here in the abandoned town of Marestis, we'll be ending tonight's session.
We did it, guys. We beat D&D.
If only you guys knew about, like, a boat.
We went on
What
the
do you-
lake already!
What do you want us to do with the boat? Sail around aimlessly, hoping that something will
The kid
emerge
said
out of the
he
ocean?
hides on fishing boats on the docks.
Boathouses, I would not say the boathouse is exactly the same as a dock, but sure.
No, but when did you guys carry something around that might be a boat?
Did we leave the boat here? Is that what it was?
Yeah, the boat is at the village. We left it on shore. See, I had assumed he'd been talking about like a boat he played at like back in the day. But that is a good thought. Maybe
God!
he's using a modern boat.
Is he gonna be at that boat?
God! You guys
consider putting
literally
the hint-
had Mira carry a boat around for like 3 sessions from camp to camp.
I forgot about that!
And you're like, man, there's no docks, there's no boats. I'm like, what?
I forgot about it!
Sometimes you just have to let us make a wisdom roll to give us information. to
Oh.
let us
be
make
honest, I
connection.
thought-
I really thought someone would be like, hey guys, we did carry around like a rowboat for like 3 sessions.
I thought we left that boat behind already. Like we just kind of dropped it somewhere because
In the town, I
we're not
think.
It
using
was at the
We
village,
did.
specifically.
We dropped it in the village. Okay, so
God.
I will write down to go check out our rowboat next time.
No, yeah, that's why I was just like, you know what, like that's why I was like, I figured it would, you know, occur to you guys at some point during the week. It's just so funny. Wee Benny, isn't that funny? Mira literally carried a boat around for like 3 sessions, and they couldn't put it together. You would carry a boat
Robert,
around for 3
I'm gonna
sessions.
stab
remember?
you.
I said they. Mira carried it, but everyone knew. I think everyone's equally at fault for that. Right, Benny?
Except for me.
Everyone's equally at fault. You
Except for
would
me.
have put 2 and 2 together, wouldn't you, my dapper son?
See,
You're
I was
rude.
I was
You're
just
rude,
imagining.
man.
I was imagining Frey would have to like wade into the lake and just find like an old rotten boat sunk somewhere.
Oh. Well, thankfully not. Hopefully. Okay, Benny, you're gonna lay on my shoulders now, huh? All right, that's fine.
We should all take note of how many questions we can ask from the book without changing our modifiers for each attribute. For me, the answer is 0, but I would love to know for everyone else.
We've just been told that Samar's is super min-maxed.
I mean, yes, absolutely. I want it to be really good at the things that I'm good at.
God.
I mean,
Healing.
Bray could do 2 more int questions before he's at a negative intelligence.
Okay.
What's -8?
7 or lower is
Oh,
you get a
I
-1.
could do like 5.
Jesus.
How many do you have right now?
Well, I mean, I'm at int 10 whiz 9.
Oh, okay, I see.
When does the +2 kick in?
Oh, I guess that would be.
18.
17
or
and up or something.
18.
Yeah,
I
something
guess it wouldn't be
crazy.
5. It would be
18.
3.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
there's
I would
no
not want
world
to
that I would ever
like-
get to it. So literally, like, whether that number maxes out at level 10 or something. So it's
Yes.
like,
Yeah, it maxed out at 10.
so even if I spent all of my things, like, I would maybe get a +1 to one of my scores if I spent all of my points on that every level up.
Listen, I
And even
mean,
then-
you could sack some charisma. Samar's good to sack some charisma.
Yeah, but I don't know what the, like, you won't tell us what attribute we'll lose a point from. So I
Nah,
can't.
I can give you another Wallace example like I did before the session.
No, thank you.
A Wally West example.
If we have a question that we're pretty sure will be charisma, I would maybe venture to do that. But
Yeah, like, you sure you don't want an example?
sure. I mean, I'll take an example.
Okay, you're sure you don't want an example. All right.
Robert. what's wrong
No,
with
the
you?
example would be, charisma. What can I do to seduce Captain Wallace?
Fuck off.
It might say, he's just not gonna be into you. Still losing 1 charisma.
Okay.
He's only into himself.
Well, thankfully, he still has his reflection.
Hey.
Rude.
Oh.
Can't believe I lost my reflection. I didn't even get a level to make up for it.
Oh, you mentioned it
Don't
again.
start that, buddy. You're gonna be in trouble.
I'm mad.
Fuck are you?
We haven't leveled up since before Corval.
I did say I leveled you guys up early for a couple of times for what I wanted. Now, maybe when you get back and finish this whole thing with Wallace, you might get a level. Which, to be fair, I wasn't expecting this to take this long. How could I have predicted?
Shut up, shut up.
What?
It always takes longer than you think, Robert.
Okay, but like, it was 3 encounter maps that you guys were definitely going to. Okay. 5.
I mean, I do think losing Streak, like, definitely slowed us
Yeah,
down.
I think losing
Significantly.
Streak, like, knocked, like, added, like, another session and a half. Like, almost
Yeah.
an entire session
'Cause-
worth of, like, what do? We need to investigate. And then another half session's worth of, like, like, postulating just during conversation.
Yeah.
But,
'Cause, I mean, you can't just be like, well, above table, we know Lee's gone, so, we're good.
no, I've got contingencies if you guys want to spend time and find Streak.
Okay.
Just know you ain't leveling up out here in the wilderness.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, Larry's pushing Ed back. Not very hard, mind, but he is.
Well, I really thought you guys were going to start on the road back this session, though.
No!
I wasn't expecting. Wait, what? What do you mean, no? What was that, no?
Okay, all of the things that we decided to do here, you knew that we still had to do here. There's enough.
Frey had to go find a child that died here hundreds of years ago?
We have no other way of finding Streak. Like, I don't know what you thought we were gonna do. It's not like you gave us a clue. That was like, this is what you need to do to get Streak. So, like, yeah, we're finding things. We're doing our best.
Oh.
We promised to get the sister already, so that wasn't.
Yeah,
you know.
I really thought it was going to be like, all right, we go back, we get the sister. Oh, turns out she's dead. Well, that happened. And then you're going to be like, well, time to go.
What do you mean?
We
I
need
think-
to fix Garrett.
I will
You also
assume.
took our heartbeat
Is there
and
a
our
fix for
reflection, and
Garrett?
like, did you not think we were gonna need to process this?
I wasn't expecting Samar to spend 15 minutes analyzing the concept of writing their name.
Teehee.
I will eventually run out of clever ways to not let that happen, so eventually we'll kind of have to hand wave it.
Handbrakes.
I do love that we did figure out a way that I can write my name if I need to.
Oh no, you.
I wonder what the logistics are of like doing it on purpose, you know. if it'll know.
I mean, I can tell you right now if you want.
Sure.
It'll know. You cannot cheat it.
But how? How will it know?
Magic.
Because it's a fucking curse. It stole the ability. It stole the shape of your name. You can't.
But like,
fucking.
I feel like I feel like I should be allowed to roll like a charisma convince against my own like intuit or know or notice or whatever. To see if I can like
gaslight
really make
yourself?
myself believe it. Yeah, see if
The
I can
problem
make
is,
myself
like,
really
you can't
believe
gaslight yourself to be like, oh, this is a real person and I'm forging their name, but really I'm not.
it. Why not? If I can really believe it.
Because that's not how the human brain works.
If he believes really hard.
Now, if you had like a magical...
You would think that, Robert, but...
God.
People
But
gaslight
Samar
themselves
does
all the
not
time.
have a human brain.
Yeah, people, like, think they create tulpas and talk to My Little Ponies and shit.
Okay,
Tulpas.
again, though, that's different from trying to convince yourself that you're signing someone else's name, but it's for your own paperwork.
Maybe.
But I'm not trying to sign
knows-
someone else's name for my own paperwork. I'm just writing their name down, and it happens to be on paperwork for myself.
No,
But you know that
Yeah,
it is
you
that
know
you
that.
are doing it for a purpose. You can't. I would not let this fly.
no, that would not. Like,
No. Look, I'm not saying that it should always work. I'm saying I should get to roll for it.
no, it will never work.
I'm saying if I can convince myself.
you
if I
cannot.
can really
That's
believe,
not how.
if I can really believe.
Like, I would allow it. Like, if you had like your memory altered, or you know, somebody did a thing where they're like, "Hey, can you write down this name?" Like, if you genuinely didn't know what you were signing and like they faked it, they're like, "Hey, can you write down the name of this author? I like your handwriting. Can you fake their signature?" And then it turns out they like cut out a hole on the page and below it was like the name on a contract. Then you actually don't know that you're signing your own name on a contract.
All right, guys, you know
Hey.
what to do if I ever need to sign my name in a contract.
Hey,
The problem is,
Arch.
in order for that to happen, they would have to be able to fool you. And you know what? Dr. Mega Intuit? No one can fool you!
God damn it.
Hey, Adars.
Yeah.
Sometimes you say some funny things. Like that time you responded lol okay to Alex's manifest.
God, that was funny.
To her manifest? What?
Your manifest.
I don't think it was a manifest.
It was a manifest.
What is a manifest? I don't even understand.
It's like the thing like
It's
school shooters
certain-
right to like justify their actions
Oh,
before they do it.
manifesto. Okay.
Anyway. Oh.
When did I do that?
Alex is not a school shooter, guys. Don't worry, Alex. I got your
We,
back.
we
I got your back,
I
Alex,
didn't
don't
hit
worry.
the stop recording button yet, so I think that's a good place to end it. Deuces.
Oh, great.
Oh,
boy.
important
When did I do that? I
note.
wouldn't remember
Everyone
this.
should always know that Alex is not a school shooter.
It's fact. William certified.
As a William certified fact. And he would know. He lives in Texas, the home of
Oh.
school shooters. Statistically speaking, I think.
The Luigi thing. Now I understand what you mean. I